Hello. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? Let's get a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Check my levels. Looks like everything's all right. Sorry. You stay over there. Welcome to another live stream. Pamela Powers, first one to say yes. Awesome. Penny C can hear you. Great. Thank you. So, things look a little different here than in past live streams because I wanted to leave this set up so I could show you basically this. That's where I do my my latest videos. So, and I can switch back and forth to that. And I'm going to go through exactly what I do and how I do it, how I have things set up and whatnot. But before we get into that, I want to welcome everybody back to the live stream if you've been here before. And welcome for the first time if you're new. Glad to have you here. My name is Rob. I go by Rob the Maritimer because I love the Maritimes and that's where I live, Maritime Canada. And I'm here to help you with video editing, YouTube, getting confident on camera, anything to do with any of that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, let me know. I've got kind of a loose, I guess, bullet points as to what we're going to go over today. And basically, I wanted to do a behind the scenes, go over the audio and lighting, and just talk a bit about YouTube for beginners, and of course answer any questions you guys have along the way. So usually the Q&A and going through the live chat takes up the bulk of this live stream, and that's totally fine. I love that. That's great. But I'll try to stay on topic if I get into something. Don't be too angry with me if I miss some of your comments, but let's just go ahead and start going through them right now just to see who's here. And introduce yourself if you don't mind, and let me know where you're watching from. I'm always interested in hearing that. I am for those who don't know, I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. That's on the East Coast, basically due north and east of Boston, across the pond from Portugal. So we have, who do we have here? And I can throw some chats up on the screen like this. Love My Tech says, Rob, hi there. Looking forward to your video today. We'll have to rewatch versus live. No problem. No problem. Yeah, so for those who don't know, when I do these live streams, I turn ads off. Okay, so there's no monetization on these live streams. So there will be no interruptions for ads, even if you don't have YouTube Premium. And then that way you won't miss anything. If I had monetization on during these live streams, then I would be interrupted every so often so that YouTube can throw an ad at you. And then when the ad's finished and you're back, you will have missed some of what I said. So instead, I do these live streams without ads. And then when it's finished, I will then turn monetization on so that if anybody wants to watch afterwards, then you may get ads, but if you get ads when you're watching it on the replay, my video or the live, it's not live at that point, but it's paused so that when the ad's finished, you come back, you won't miss anything. So that's the way I'm handling these, just for those who want to watch on the replay. Who do we have? Oh, that was me. I'm not going to put well, there you go. My own comment. Yokai Watch. Yay, I'm finally in time for this. Awesome. Good to have you here. We've got Mackenzie Hill. Hello, Mackenzie. Good to see you. From Ontario on Lake Huron. Very good. Also in Canada. If you're in Ontario. Lake Huron is also in the United States. Michigan, I believe. Thank you for helping me get a plan to start this fall. Awesome. So you're putting a plan together. That's great. Glad to hear it. It all starts with the planning. First time here on live. Awesome. AHHFS Health and Wellness. Welcome to the live stream. Wants to know what the best mic and video cameras for YouTube beginners. So, I think for people just starting out with YouTube, because even if you want to, grow a huge channel and turn it into a business and retire with your YouTube earnings and all that stuff, if you want to get big on YouTube, even if that's the eventual case, when you're just starting, I think, quite honestly, starting with your phone, whatever camera is in your phone is all you need. If you have a relatively current phone, like say within the last, well, probably even within the last 10 years, but certainly within the last 5 years, phones can typically do 4K, if not 1080p, surely. I'm talking about the resolution. What you're watching right now, just so you know, this is 1080p. When I make my videos and upload them to YouTube, I do those usually, I have been lately, in 4K. The only time that I don't is if I'm in a time crunch and I don't have much time. 4K takes longer to render and longer to upload and longer for YouTube to process. So, but they do look better for those people watching those videos on a large monitor or TV even. If you're watching a YouTube video that happens to be in 4K, but if you're watching it on your phone or even a small monitor, you're likely not being sent the 4K version by YouTube. They're probably only sending you the 1080p version because that's all they need to send you, because that's all you can see on your monitor or phone, if that makes sense. So YouTube always takes their videos, whatever videos are uploaded, and they create multiple versions, and depending on who wants to watch the video, that's what they'll send them. So anyways, long story short, I think just starting with a cell phone is perfectly fine. That is honestly the best camera. And in fact, if you saw my video from 2 days ago, I filmed that on my iPhone 14 Pro Max is what I have. Actually, that's not this. That's this. This here, my iPhone. I just filmed it on that. Now, I did have a lavalier or lapel mic plugged into my phone, and the audio was good, better than just the phone's mic. So yeah, if you start with a phone, a tripod, and honestly, it could be a small tripod just like this. This, you can modify this and wrap it around posts or whatever. Or get something a little bit bigger like this, or I mean, you can get tripods for anywhere from probably $20 on up to $100. So cell phone, small plug-in mic, don't do that. Lapel mic and tripod, and you can start with that. That's what I would recommend, and then just practice talking to your camera. Get good at filming yourself like that. And then as you get more into it, you can start upgrading things, like your microphone. So like in here, when I'm recording in here, the microphone I'm using that's up here above me is actually, and I can show you, it's that guy there. That is a shotgun mic, okay? It's the Synco Mic-D2, and I have a link in the description below about that, but that's the one I use. And then when I record over here by the chair, or in the chair, I move the mic and I put it there, and I have another wire already ready for it and whatnot. So that is what I use. Now that mic is not that it's not that cheap. I mean, you can certainly go more expensive than that. It's kind of a I think of it as a knockoff version of the Sennheiser MK, and I'm going to get it wrong. But it's a shotgun mic that a lot of big-time YouTubers use, and I think it's over $1,000. This one is like $200 or $300, something like that. So still not cheap, but I think it sounds just fine. And quite honestly, what will really make your audio sound better, more so than even just the mic, is the room that you're recording in. If you're in a big empty room with lots of flat walls and no furniture, no carpeting, then you're going to sound very echoey no matter what mic you use. So yeah, try to film in a place that is not like that, and you can. What am I trying to say? Yeah, like put curtains on the walls, or have clothes hanging up, or blankets, carpeted floors. This room isn't treated as well as it could be. You can see some flat walls and doors behind me, closet doors and stuff. So, but this mic is fairly close to me too. It's I'm going to say 18 inches or so from my mouth. So that helps the closer you get it to your mouth. Anyways, I'm never going to get through all these chats if I talk that long with every question, but I hope that helps. K.S. Tari, hello from Maine. Hello, that's the closest state to me is Maine. Jules, hello Jules, watching from Montreal, Canada. Welcome back. You've been here before many times. Irish Wilk Pegs. Hey Rob, here from Phoenix, Arizona. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Monsoon season here. Oh, really? Okay, very good. Well, from what I saw in the news, you guys probably need it because I think you guys have been having a heat wave down in the southwest United States. So maybe some rain's not bad. Penny can hear me. Pam can hear me. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Move a Muscle, Change a Thought. How are you doing? Nice name. Grethe Lis Bauman from Denmark. Hello. How are you? Welcome back. I think you were here last week. ASL Fun Videos. Looking forward to this. Fist bump. Loud and clear. Penny C says, hello, Rob. I'd like to know good lighting brands to film overhead for sewing videos. Thanks. Okay, so actually, and I'm going to let you know too, I just bought, so to kind of segue, I'll get to your answer eventually, but because I've done something different with my lights here, and the light, I just bought a couple of lights, and they may be ones you might want to consider. So this big thing here, okay, that is my big softbox. I've got an Amaran 60D light in it, which actually, I mean, it's a little on the expensive side compared to the other lights I have here, but it's a lot less than the 120Ds by Aperture that again, a lot of professional videographers and photographers use. But this 60D is plenty bright for me. I only ever use it at 50%, sometimes even less than that. And anyways, this is usually up here and is usually my main key light for these live streams and any video tutorials that I've done, any other videos that I've done while sitting on my desk. That's always my light here. But for the videos that I've done lately, sitting in that chair over there, I moved this, okay? And I'll show you, I'll get to that in a second, how I moved it and whatnot. But it's kind of a pain to move back and forth. I have a couple of boom arms on the high on the walls, and I can move it from one to the other. That's not a big deal. That's what I did. It's hanging from the ceiling, basically. Well, let me show you. Let me show you this. Now, I will try to talk louder because as I get further away from this microphone, I should have thought ahead and put like a lapel mic on for this. But so anyways, I'm going to be softer. My volume will be lower as I move away. So let me change this to the iPhone so you can see what I'm going to show you. And I'll yell so you can hear me. So here is my setup. That is the big light that usually I have way back there in the corner, but you can see that square or that rectangle light there. That's a new one I got. So that's what I'm using today. It was a 2-pack. The other one is over there, not being used yet. And I'm a little undecided whether I'm going to use that one up here for my shots when I'm in the chair, and then move this one back or whatever. So I'm in the middle of testing that out, and I did make a couple of videos. So yeah, that softbox with that light, there's the light, okay, and I've got it hanging from the ceiling with one of those boom arms, which is the same. There it is there. That's the one I usually have it on when it's in that corner. Okay, I don't know if this is making much sense to you guys, but I'm trying to show you easiest way I can. So yeah, so that is usually over here. So I'm wondering, does this look good enough with that light there? If so, I could leave this here. But then again, this is kind of in my way right now at this desk, so I don't love that here. I might end up leaving that here and then moving my desk over to there so I'm not so close to this. Because this is a better light. It gives a better lighting. And I've actually I've done a little video testing this light versus one of those panel lights while sitting in that chair, and I'll show you that. And you can help me decide which I'm going to put there. But just moving them back and forth all the time, I find, and I'm always going to do these live streams on Tuesdays, but lately I've been doing, like, I could be making a video every couple of days, right? So my point is, Penny, sorry, I think that 2-pack of lights would be great. They come with stands. I've got a link for them down below. Let me just, where is it? Here. That's right. There's what's it called? Amazon Prime is on this week. So you might be able to get a better deal. I'm not even sure. Here, let me show you. Right there. So it's this one here. That's what it looks like. So those panel lights comes with 2. That $183, that's US dollars, because I brought up Amazon.com as opposed to .ca, which I usually see in Canada. But yeah, so far so good. And right now I've got this light here on 25%, so it could get a whole lot lighter, a whole lot brighter. Okay, so what you could do is you could put one of those on either side of you, extend the stand up high and have them pointed down on 2 different angles, right? If you have only one on one side, then if you're showing something on your table, like an overhead, what did you say? Overhead sewing videos, right? So it may cast a shadow on the other side. So that's why you'd put a light on both sides, right? Shining down basically on an angle like this. Okay, so that should eliminate most of the shadows. So you could try something like that. They're nice and bright. Neewer is the brand name. They tend to be on the inexpensive side, but I use a lot of Neewer stuff. This big softbox is Neewer. A lot of my little lights are Neewer. So yeah, I would give that a shot. That way you won't break the bank either. So I hope that helps. Travel with Lil, hello from Arizona. Hello, that's 2 from Arizona, I believe. That's awesome. Hello, Sophia, how you doing? Good to see you here. Just caught you here, great. Jules loves the behind the scenes show off. Very good, yeah. A lot of people are interested in how I have things set up, so that's what I'm gonna try. Oh, it looks like she's back in her spot. All right, she usually takes a lot for me to get her up there, but she sometimes does it on her own. Aaron B started, hello Aaron, how you doing? Started making art for my coming channel, loaded into YouTube today. A little scary, but also exhilarating. Very good, awesome, that's cool. Yes, it can be scary, but hey, what's the worst that can happen? Just go for it, upload it, and laugh at yourself before others can laugh. That's just something I like to say, but that good for you. Glad to have you start. Yokai Watch says live chat is the best. No post editing required. LOL. That's true. This is it, right? Once this live is done and it turns into a video on demand on my channel, I don't have to edit it. It's done. It's if they want to. Anyway, I like it too. I like live. The other thing about live too, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, for those who don't know, there are 2 main criteria you need to reach. One is 1,000 subscribers, and the other one is 4,000 watch hours in the last year. And that 4,000 hours is kind of, it rolls, right? So tomorrow it would be every day you advance, the 365-day window also advances. So you could theoretically get your 4,000 watch hours, but then if you stop posting or people stop watching your videos, eventually your total watch hours may fall below 4,000 and then you would get demonetized. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, yeah, so live streams though really can increase your watch hours by a lot and really fast. So a part of my story, and I'm actually working on I'm going to make, it's not going to be the next video, but I'm going to make a video on basically my journey so far on YouTube. It's been 3.5 years, but really it's only been serious for the last several months. And I reached 1,000 subscribers. I don't even know. It was quite a while ago. But I was nowhere near the 4,000 watch hours. Some people get the watch hours before the 1,000 subscribers. I think it's more often than not the other way around. Like you'll get the subscribers you need first. But regardless, I started doing live streams when I was at, I think I was at maybe 2,500 subscribers and still not monetized because I still had 3,000 and some watch hours. I wasn't to the 4,000 yet. And in fact, I only got monetized, I'm going to say less than a month ago, or about a month ago, a little more than a month ago. It was either the 1st of June or the end of May. Anyways, because my watch hours finally got up above 4,000. So yeah, but live streams, I consciously decided to, first of all, get consistent in posting a lot of videos, but then also doing a live stream every week. And if you go live, so the way it works is like a watch hour. If somebody watches a 20-minute video of yours, if they watch the whole thing, that's 20 minutes that get added to your watch hours. If 3 people watch it all the way through, that's 1 hour, okay? Now, if you do a live stream, let's say you do a 1-hour live stream, and let's say there are 20 people that watch all of it, okay? That would be 20 people times 1 hour. That's 20 hours of watch time you would have gotten in that 1 hour of live stream. And again, like somebody mentioned, no editing required. It's done, right? So you can really boost so keep that in mind. If watch hours is something you're trying to boost, consider live streaming. That would really help. So yeah, Aaron is from Cleveland, Ohio. Very good. Just south of Canada on Lake Erie. I went to a football game in Cleveland one time, saw the Browns 20 years ago. Penny is in Quebec, Canada. Very good. That's 2 from the province of Quebec. I was in Quebec City over a year ago. Beautiful city. Love it. Sophia is from the south of Portugal. The Algarve. I'm probably supposed to roll my R's. Algarve? I don't know. I don't know how to speak Spanish. I know a little French, but I don't know Spanish. Sorry. But Portugal, I'd love to go to Portugal sometime. Never been there. Very good. Yokai Watch, Sony A6600 or Fuji X-H1? I'm not familiar with Fuji. I am familiar with Sony's. This one right here that you're seeing me on is the Sony A6400. And incidentally, too, that's something I should also mention. Something that I don't know if you may notice or not, but I'm using a different lens this week than I did last week, and a different lens than I usually use when I film here. And the reason is the lens I like, the Sigma 16mm f1.4, I currently have right here on that camera, okay? Because I wanted to leave that set up the way it's set up when I film over there, okay? So I will take that lens off. Let me just, where's the button? There you go. So it's this guy here, the Sigma f1.4 16 mils. I usually use this one because of the low f number, and I mean this gets technical, and I've only learned this in the last couple of years, but it's a very popular lens to use with these Sony A6000 series cameras and the ZV-E10, which is what that camera is. The ZV-E10 is a newer version of the A6400. The A6600 you're mentioning, I don't know. I don't. Sony didn't go in order in their numbers, so that may be a newer one than the 6400. It might be older. I'm not sure. But it is a mirrorless camera, and these lenses would work on it. So yeah, so instead, what I have right now on this is the lens that comes with it. It's called a kit lens that you get when you buy these Sony cameras with a kit lens. I mean, you can buy just the body without any lens at all, but I wouldn't suggest that if you're just starting out, because you need a lens and you need something. Yeah, so that's this lens, and the only reason it might look different than if you see it online is this thing here is a little ring that I can unscrew and take. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a little ring that I screw onto the front of it. And the reason I do that is that allows me to put this teleprompter on it. Okay, this teleprompter here, which I don't know if any of you saw the trailer or the intro to this live stream. If you showed up early, you may have seen a little 30-second or 40-second intro. That was me. And I was reading from a teleprompter, and I kind of screwed up, and I left the screw up in the video. So anyways, I wanted to explain that if you are using a teleprompter, you do still have to be careful. Yes, the words are there right in front of you, but even speaking with a teleprompter takes some skill, and it's kind of easy to mess it up. So anyways, this is how it works. You see how there's a little hole there? This lens basically has to attach there. So what you do is this slides on it just like that, and it hangs off the lens. Okay, and then here's where I lay my phone. Lay my phone right here, or you can also lay an iPad in there. This is adjustable. Here, I'll just close that so you can see. This is adjustable, so you can kind of put your phone in there, and then you just need an app, a teleprompter app on your phone. I use Prompt Smart because it uses the mic, and the words will actually go up and advance as I speak them, which is very handy. So anyway, yeah, so that's how that works. But yeah, I don't know anything about the Sonys. I'm sorry. Just put that here for now. Sorry, I don't know anything about the Fujis. I know more about the Sonys, and I'm not an expert at those either. Thanks for skipping ads. No problem. Hi, Rob. Sabrina here from Chicago. Hello, Chicago. Sabrina, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Hello, neighbor. I'm from Maine. Awesome. Yes, we are neighbors. New to your channel and didn't know you are in Nova Scotia. I'm 48, thinking of starting a YouTube channel, encouraged by your recent videos. Awesome. You should do it. What's the worst that can happen? It's fun. Yeah, I tell you, just as another form of inspiration or motivation, or however you want to look at it, when I did my first live stream, I did several live streams like I think over 2 years ago when I first started, and then I actually went silent for over a year. I moved and things got kind of crazy, and I didn't do anything with my YouTube channel for over a year. But when I first did my first live stream, which is kind of like it's talking to a camera, and when you do your first one, like I hardly had any people, any subscribers. So you're talking to a camera, and you know nobody's on the other end. I mean, you can actually look to see who's in the stream. I can see that there are people here now, but there were times I've done live streams to like 0 or 2 people, and I know they are, my son and my nephew, right? So, it takes a lot of getting used to. But even though I knew there weren't going to be many or any people that I didn't know, I was still so worried about the fact that, okay, this is going to be a video afterwards. It's going to live on forever. I mean, I could delete it, but if I want to grow a YouTube channel, then I shouldn't. So knowing that I wanted to do this, and that the video was going to live on forever, I was nervous, and I couldn't start. Like I even made a video the week before, said, yeah, I'm going to do a live stream, and it's going to be on this day at this time, and I'm going to go live. And that time came, and I was pacing in the room, and I was like, all I have to do is hit that go button, and I couldn't do it. I was so nervous. I was sweating. Anyway, if you've ever tried it, you'll understand. But looking back at that, I laugh at it. It's funny. And I wish I had just started earlier, because honestly, the more you do it, the more used to it you get. And the same applies to just if you may not even be considering going live, but just making a video, talking to a camera like this. Yes, there are options where you can use teleprompters, and I use them. I use them for doing my faster paced tutorial intros. If I'm making a tutorial how-to video, and I want to get to the point really fast, like, you know, I want people to stick around. They clicked on my link because I'm about to show them something about video editing. That's called making videos for search. Okay, so I'm making a video for search, how to do whatever it is in video editing. So I need to, when you're making a video like that, you need to get your point across really quickly. Like, this is what I'm going to tell you. It used to be that there were long-winded intros and big fancy introductions to channels, and then it takes about a minute before you actually get to the meat of the content. And that's less and less desirable these days. That's just fluff. They're hard to make and time-consuming to make. So that's the good news. The good news is you don't really need to make those anymore. So just get right to the point. So yeah, teleprompters would help, but I strongly encourage you, if you really want to do this and for the long term, and you know, just get better with every video, is try it like this. Is try to talk to the camera, record yourself, press record yourself. Maybe do that a few times and then watch it back, see what you look like. You're probably going to hate it, but everybody hates looking and listening to themselves. But then do one and upload it. Like, just introduce yourself. Like, I'm KS Tari, and I'm gonna make videos. This is my new channel. I'm gonna make videos on maybe this, and this. I'm not sure. Things might change, and things should change depending on what your audience is asking you for. And have fun with it. So anyways, good luck with that. That'd be great. Mindful Maven Moments. Hey there, Mindful. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. It is 1 a.m. in Singapore. That is late. No, early. That's early. That's tomorrow. You're already in tomorrow. Time traveler. ASL Fun Videos, Topeka, Kansas. Awesome. Awesome. I need to learn how to get views and subs. Yeah, don't we all? That's the magic ticket, eh? Views and subs. Actually, interesting point. A lot of people would like to know, when you're first starting out in YouTube, many people want to know, well, how much money can I make with, X number of subs? Like, if I have 2,000 subs, how much money can I expect to make from ad revenue from YouTube? And the reality is, and some people will say, no one will tell me, everyone's being so secretive. Well, there's really no one answer to that. There really isn't, because the number of subscribers you have has no bearing on the ad revenue you make from YouTube. None whatsoever. The number of subs, all that does is, well, I guess it does a couple things. It's the number of views that can be more easily correlated to how much money you can make. It's the number of views. Now there are other reasons, or starting to trip over. I'm getting old. I'm starting to trip over my words. What am I trying to say? Other factors that go into how much you make, like depending on what your video is about. Okay, like if you're what niche you're talking about. I'll mention financial, make money. Those types of videos tend to pay better in terms of ad revenue. And the reason is, it has nothing to do with YouTube deciding what they're going to pay their creators. It's everything to do with advertisers who pay money to have their ads shown on certain videos. They go through this process. Now, I don't know exactly how it works because I've never actually bought ads on Google or YouTube, but it's something like this. I believe it works on a pay-per-click system, so which basically is bidding. So there are many companies or people bidding a certain amount of pennies per click or dollars per click or whatever, dollars per view. They will pay a certain amount to have their ads shown on videos, and they get to choose what types of videos, right? I believe. Or YouTube may choose that for them based on what their ad's about. But regardless, financial type videos tend to attract higher paying advertisers. And since YouTube pays a percentage of the revenue they bring in, the ad revenue they bring in, they pay, I believe it's 55% of the revenue they bring in, they pay out to creators, okay? So based on that, the more money they bring in for a video being watched, the more money they pay out to that creator who made that video, okay? So if you make videos on finance and stuff like that, the revenue per 1,000 clicks or 1,000 views would be higher than, say, a vlog type video, or I think they tend to be on the lower end. I think actually the lowest might be, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like just gaming type videos. Like if you upload a video of you playing a game and you're just kind of commenting as you're, playing a game for an hour or whatever, those types of videos companies don't pay as much to have their ads shown on those videos, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, so how do you get views? You make videos that people want to see. And that starts with making a good video that kind of holds retention all the way through. That's number one, or that's one thing. Another thing is your title and thumbnail, which kind of work together. Your title and thumbnail, whatever you come up with for a title and a thumbnail, that's like the package. That's like what the door looks like that people will decide whether or not to click on it or not. Okay? So YouTube can send you information, or you can log in and see information like, what is the click-through rate, right? Based on my thumbnail and title, how many times are people clicking to view my video? You want your click-through rate to be high. The higher it is, I believe YouTube will offer your video up more often for people to potentially click on it and watch, okay? But now once people click it and start watching, well, that is a view, yes, but now are they going to stay and watch the video? That's important too. The longer they stay, like the more people that stay for the entire duration of the video, YouTube will recognize that in their algorithm somehow. I don't know exactly how it works. It's like a game. You got to figure it out and try things. But from what I've learned, the more watch time and the greater the percentage of the video that gets watched on average, the more apt YouTube is to show or offer your video up as a recommended video for people to see. So those are the things you have to play with and try out, and then if people like your video, they will subscribe. And so the other thing about subscriptions is, although it doesn't directly affect how much money you can make, what it does do is the more subscribers you have, whenever you post a new video, they will potentially be notified about that. Okay, so now there's different ways to subscribe. You can subscribe. You could ask for notifications for everything, or what am I trying to say? Like you can turn the bell on or off for notifications and things like that. So, but overall, the more subscribers you have, the more often they'll be notified that you're coming out with a new video, and that will give additional videos that you come out with a little extra boost right in the beginning. And then it's a matter of, how long are they watching, and does it resonate with them, and things like that. But anyways, another long-winded answer from me. I hope that helps. GR Bliss, hey, just got to my desk for this. Awesome. I'm way behind in the chats. I may not click on all of them, but yeah, Kat does steal the show. She's ignoring me now. Oh, you see that? That's what happens when you try to look through a camera that doesn't have a lens on it. Let me put this back on. Got to line up the white dots here. There. Now that the lens is on, you can see through it, right? Okay. And yeah, she likes to steal the show. Sophia loves the cat. I have two, both sleeping. I've only got the one. I had two, but Jelly passed away about 3 years ago. But I think Peanut's doing just fine. Peanut is almost 14, so she's not a kitten anymore. I use my phone 11 and CapCut to make my videos for my channel. Perfect, awesome. CapCut is great. I've used it. I don't use it all the time, but I like to use it for like dynamic captions and things like that. So yeah, it's great. CapCut is available for free for anybody looking for a good video editing software. CapCut is a good choice. That would be my second recommended editor. My first one is Camtasia. I know Camtasia costs money. I think it's $179 US a month, but it's the one I've used. I've used it for years. It's really good if you need to capture your screen as well, like if you're doing a tutorial on software or whatever, YouTube video editing. It's really good for that, but it's way more than that. You can also do regular video editing with it, and I find it's one of the simpler ones to learn. Very similar to CapCut, but CapCut doesn't have a screen recorder. You would have to use OBS or something like that if you wanted to add that in. But anyways, if anybody is interested in Camtasia, I do have a link in the description below that will give you 10% off if you're interested. Use that link. Brigadier, hello everyone. Hello. Hello from Saskatchewan. Hello, Saskatchewan. Loving your content, learning a lot. Thank you. No problem. I enjoy this. I'm glad you guys are liking it. The channel's kind of blown up a little bit in the last couple of weeks from one video I made almost 2 weeks ago. So that's great. All kinds of new, and I'm going to make a video on basically my channel's journey. But for those who don't know, 2 weeks ago I had 3,800 subscribers in this channel, and now last night we crossed the 10,000 mark, which is awesome. So still lots of people watching that video and subscribing, and based on that, the majority of the people who are subscribers to this channel are relatively new, and they're here because they're either just starting YouTube, or they're in the over 40 group, over 40, over 50, over 60, right up into the 80s. I've had people contact me and thinking about starting YouTube, which I think is amazing. I really believe that it's our time to do YouTube. It really is. And even if you don't want to start a business in YouTube, like if you're, and when I say older, I'm going to mean over 40. Not that I think that's old at all. I'm over 50. Okay. And I think I'm young, right? You don't have to be any age to start YouTube. And the reality is, people our age, right, the over 40 group, have a lot to say. We've got a lot to say. We've learned a lot of stuff in life, right? Whatever it is. You have a lot more, if you're in this age category, you've got a lot more experiences and knowledge to draw from to potentially talk about in a YouTube channel, if that makes sense, right? So a lot of people struggle with, oh, what do I talk about? And, a lot of the channels that I watch, there's whatever. There's a lot of entertainment type channels. There's entertainment channels and there's education channels. Those are the two broad categories. And I've pretty much always gone the educational route, like teaching people how to do things. Not so much the entertainment. Now, maybe there's some entertainment that kind of slips in there, like a lot of you like my cat, Peanut, or my bloopers that I've been doing lately in my videos. I think that's resonating with a lot of people. It just shows that, I mess up too, and it's okay, right? In fact, it's great. It's fun. In fact, the bloopers, I believe, are what a lot of people enjoy about the video, because it brings it home, so to speak. Because if you're new to this, then undoubtedly you've sat down in front of a camera, tried to make a video, and got stuck on what to say. And maybe you stopped it and then gathered your thoughts and start again, try again, you mess up. It's like, oh, geez, am I ever going to get this? If that's you, then don't keep starting and stopping your recording. Leave it run, right? Make sure you've got enough room on your SD card or on your iPhone or Samsung, whatever you're using, but let it run. If you want to make a 10-minute video, it may take you an hour, right? Just keep going. If you mess up, you can either leave the mess up in there or you can cut it out in video editing and make a blooper reel. Honestly, when I edit these videos, these latest ones that I'm doing, and what takes me the longest to do is putting together the blooper reel at the end. And that's because I'll usually have maybe 15 minutes at the beginning where I get to the point where I, first start making good content. And, that's my take that I'm going to keep. That whole first, 15 minutes, I cut it. I don't delete it. I just move it to the end. And I'll get to that at the end. So then I'll go through the video. I might make a couple small edits here and there. But then when I get to the end and I put together the bloopers, I have a ball with that. Like, that's fun. And I'm actually smiling and laughing as I'm doing it. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, this will be fun. And I have the music already in place because I play music during my bloopers. You don't have to do that, but you can. And yeah, I have fun with it. And I just keep switching back and forth. What looks good? What should I do next? How long should this go on for? So it's a process. It takes me probably an hour. I'm going to say about an hour to edit through the blooper reel. But it's fun. So yeah, do that. I think you'll have fun with it. Tech Mixer, hello again from Barrie, Ontario. Thanks for the insight on the AVD on your viral video. No problem. Asperadora, hello, welcome. Figuring out the content you want to create, I think, is a difficult part. It is the difficult part. Just keep in mind, if you're just starting out, you don't have to nail down your topic or your niche for your channel precisely. You don't worry about getting everything perfect right off the bat, because you can pivot later on. You can start off your channel talking about one thing, and then, a few videos in, you might start talking about something else, and then all of a sudden you notice, oh, it's that something else that a lot of people are, liking. Maybe I'll talk more about that. And then that might branch off to something else again, right? So you just got to start with something that you have the ability to talk a lot about or know a lot about. Try to think of what you would talk to your friends and family about. Something that the people closest to you think you're good at. It could be software. It could be something to do with work. It could be something to do around the house. Maybe you're a good organizer, organizing closets. There's a ton of those types of videos on YouTube. But yeah, no, I agree though. That is a difficult part. It's taken me a long time. I never thought that I would land on this. I've always wanted to help people with YouTube, but I needed to learn it myself first. I've been fascinated with it for a long time. Video editing and making tutorial videos is kind of where I started. I wasn't a video editor. I made tutorial videos for other companies in my previous business. So that's kind of how I got into it. But yeah, good luck with that. Joanne Benko. Hello, Joanne. Thanks for doing this. No problem at all. Doing the same thing as Penny. Very good. Angela Bliss Art, just found your channel, enjoying the content. Thank you. No problem, Angela. Thanks and welcome. Another new viewer. I really wanted to ask a lighting question too. Awesome. Hopefully what I explained helped, but feel free to ask again or ask something different if you'd like. Mackenzie Mills says, storage. I am recording a pile of videos, large files. What do you do to stay on top of footage? So, let me gather my thoughts. I'll tell you what I do, and what I see a lot of people doing. What I see a lot of people doing is using those small little external hard drives, like SSDs, that you can plug into your computer, and you could typically edit right off of those, keep all your footage on those. I don't do it that way. Now what I did though is a little bit more expensive, because I don't like throwing stuff away. Like I'm a freelancer on Fiverr, and I do a lot of video editing jobs for other people. Like a lot. Like in the last 4 years, over 4,000 jobs I've done, like small jobs. And I keep them all, everything I've done. And the reason is because if somebody comes back to me even 2 years later and says, yeah, remember that video you did for me 2 years ago? Well, can you do it again, but just make these one or two small changes? If I have it, then I can pull it up, make the changes, and much easier that way. I don't have to start over. But to do that, you're right, it takes up a lot of storage. So what I did is I bought a NAS, that NAS, Network Attached Storage. It's basically a giant external hard drive that you can either plug directly into a computer, or you can just Ethernet plug it into your home network, which is what I've done. And then you can transfer files off to that. And the network attached storage, actually, let me pull that up. Just so you know, 16. Yeah, it's, oh, it looks like they might have changed the model numbers or something, because mine wasn't that expensive. But here we go. So, oh, let me show you. So this guy here, this is a network attached storage by Synology, and it has 6 drives in it, 6 drive bays, and you can put hard drives in each of those 6. And what I've done is I actually only have, I think, 5 of the 6 used. I have some 16, what is it? 116 terabytes. I'm getting confused on the numbers here. What? Just one second here. Let me find this out. Tell you exactly what I put in here. Iron Wolf. Yeah, terabytes, of course. And there's 12s and 16s. So what I've done is I've got 5 of them. I started off with just 3 8 terabyte drives. Okay. When you do that, you can set it up in, now I'm going to get technical here, so I apologize for that, but just so you know, because if a hard drive fails, you may lose stuff, right? So what I've done is I've set it up in a RAID format, which means one of those drives can't be used. It can't be counted towards your total space. So if you have 3 8 terabyte drives in this, then 8 times 2, you'll only count 2 of them, that's 16 terabytes of available space. Okay, the third one is used. I mean, if you set it up that way, then any one of those 3 can fail. Okay, and then all you have to do is replace the one that failed, and you will have lost nothing. Okay, so bits of information of all your stuff is stored on all 3 drives. You only have 2 that you can save to. It looks like one drive on your computer. Okay, so anyways, long story short, that's what I use. I now have some 16 terabyte drives in mine. I think I have 2 16s or 3 16. Anyways, I have something like 30 terabytes of available space. That's where I offload stuff. So when I finish a job, not when I finish, about a month after I finish a job or a video, I will then do a little bit of a dump from my MacBook to that NAS of stuff that I don't need. But I have a folder of current jobs that I keep on my hard drive. My computer's hard drive, I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, and I'm only using about half of that. So, but as that starts to fill up, then I offload it to that external drive. So that's what I do. Now, anything super important, it might make sense to also back that up to the cloud. Okay, so that's something else to think about. So that's what I do. And that way my MacBook is never filling up. I always leave like some of the things I use often, like logos or whatever, templates, things like that I use often. I'll leave them on my MacBook all the time. And of course, the MacBook has like the programs I use, Camtasia, CapCut, and whatever else. But yeah, that's what I do. And oh, Lil likes the setup. Awesome, thank you. I spent far too much money in this setup. I don't need half this stuff for making the videos. Joanne says, video with my Brio and a bit of extra light works great in front of the computer, but small setup with Canon M50 is so bad. Does M50 need a ton of extra light? I've heard of the Canon M50. I've never used it. I'm not that familiar with it. I think it's also a similar camera to the Sony A6400 or the ZV-E10, in that it's a mirrorless crop sensor type camera. But in terms of how much light you need, I'm not too sure. I know in my case, I don't need that much light at all. Again, this is set at, I think, 25%. Maybe it's 50, but that's it. One of those panel lights. And this big one, I usually have it only 25%. But if you really want to light up your desk, if you're doing overhead shots, then I would think these lights would be fine. I wouldn't think you would need much more than that at all. But I've never used that. I've never used that camera, so I can't say for sure. Irish Wilkes says, how did you switch from one camera to the other? The A10 Mini is what I use. So just to kind of put a bow on my setup here, how this works. When I film here at that chair, right, I just record onto the camera itself. So there's an SD card in the camera, right? I can pop that SD card out, put it into the computer, and offload my footage that way. When I live stream like this, I have that camera, this camera, and this camera plugged into an HDMI switcher. Okay, and that, let me show you. I'll go back to my iPhone here. If I come back here, so if you look at the camera here, you see two wires? There are two wires sticking out of the camera. This one is the dummy battery. Okay, that plugs into the wall. I take out the regular battery and I just plug this into the wall, an outlet. Here, I can pull this back here to see the screen. So that's what that wire is, and it goes into the bottom. This wire here on the side is HDMI out. Okay, so that, if you follow that wire, would go all the way back to my desk and plug into this thing here. That's an A10 Mini Pro, and you can plug into up to 4 cameras into the back. Okay, and then you switch back and forth by hitting these numbers here. I only have 2 cameras plugged into it. Right now it's on camera 1, which is that one. Okay, and then again, 2 wires out of that one too. One is HDMI out and one is the dummy battery. On this camera, both of them are on the same side. Again, that's the 6400. So yeah, so I just press that button to switch the cameras. Now for this camera here that you're looking at, the iPhone, I don't have that plugged into that A10 Mini. Instead, this one is being recognized by my MacBook as another source. Okay, I'll switch back here. So yeah, I'm using the Stream Deck also. Sorry, this might be kind of confusing to some, but might as well show you. That's a Stream Deck, this guy right here. And this allows me to switch between, so right now I've got iPhone. I've pressed the iPhone one. I can press InnoView, that's my monitor that I share. Okay, or I can press Me. I just have it called Me. And that Me is whatever that A10 Mini is switched to. So if I hit that, the A10 Mini is current, well, you can't see it but it's currently at number 1, okay? If I come back here and if I switch that to 2, it goes to that second camera, okay? Does that make sense? A little complicated. I plan to, I mean, these lives are good for kind of showing and explaining things like this. I do plan on trying to packaged this up a little in a little better way to make it a little easier to follow if you wanted to recreate something similar. So yeah, that's how I switched the cameras. 2 different ways. Okay, let me just kind of go. I'll keep going through the chats here. How are we doing for time, anyways? I mean, I've got all kinds of time. We've been at this an hour, and we're still going through the live chat. But I think most of you enjoy the live chat. Is that right? I did have. I mean, yeah, we are kind of going through the things I had talked. So the 3 main bullet points for today were behind the scenes, which we're doing, audio and lighting, which we have been talking about, and YouTube for beginners, which we're talking about. So that's kind of, we are kind of hitting all those things. And I did not put a table of contents on the screen today because I just found last week, I mean, that works well if I'm doing like a software tutorial and there are several defined steps that I'm going through. But I found I didn't even really use it well last week. So I thought, you know, what's the point of even putting that up there? So there we go. Let's just keep right on going. Beautiful day in Cleveland. Awesome. It's a beautiful day in Halifax here too. What camera are you using? So the one you're looking at now is the Sony a6400 with just the kit lens on it. Again, I usually have the 16mm lens that I really like, but I only have one of them, and it's right now it's on that camera. And that camera, which is the newer version of the a6400 by Sony, and that's the Sony ZV-E10. Okay, it's probably 2 years newer, but the specs are pretty much the same. For what I'm doing in here, they're perfect cameras. I don't actually take them outside. I have, but not often. If I'm going to film outside, I take my phone, quite honestly, because if not, to me, it just gets too complicated. I'm not a photography expert or a videography expert. I've learned some things along the way. But if you get one of these cameras, like when I first got this one here 3 years ago, holy crap, there's a lot to it. The menus, there's something like 25 different menus that you can go through and all these settings you can change. And I was overwhelmed. I've watched so many videos to try to figure out how to set it up the best way. And the first time I recorded something, it looked horrible. It just took a long time. But so what I'm using them for, I do most of my filming in here, anyways, in my office here, a bedroom office. So I've got this set up on a tripod that's attached to my desk, and that one, and I just, you know, sometimes I'll move them around a little bit, but for the most part, I just do my recording with these cameras inside, and I use my phone outside. And I can combine footage, the phone footage and these Sony footages, I can combine them into the same video while I video edit, and you can do some tweaking to make them look identical or close to identical. Certainly good enough for YouTube. Maybe not making feature films for Hollywood or anything, but yeah, that's what I use. I love the Lume Cube audio lights. Okay, cool, very good. I've never used those. I've heard about them though. I've seen them. What microphone do you use? Do you use some sort of noise gate to filter out background noise if you have any? No noise gate right now at all. So I'm using the Synco. That's S-Y-N-C-O. Mic D2 is what I'm using here. It's a shotgun mic. That guy right there. It's an XLR mic. Okay, so it needs an XLR cable right there. And so if you have an XLR mic like this, you can't plug those directly into the computer, right? You have to plug XLR into an audio interface of some sort that will basically change the signal of the sound, and then you plug that into your computer. So that XLR mic is wired all the way down to this guy here. That's what this is. That's an audio interface. That is the wire right there. Okay, and yeah, you can tell every time I talk, that green light kind of lights up. That I can turn my volume up or down with that knob there. Yeah, so that's how, and then that is just USB. USB-C, I think, out into my MacBook. All right, now you see another wire here, right there. That's because this mic here is doing double duty. So when I'm live, I have it up here on that. See, I've got a crazy arm rigged up there, one of those magic arms, because I didn't want to unscrew everything. Because what I'm going to do when I'm finished here, I will unscrew that mic, okay, and I'll move over here, and I'm going to put it up there. So for that setup right there, that's the setup where I make my videos, and I put that mic right there. I've got the other wire hanging here, okay? That wire there is this wire. So I'll unplug that, plug this in, move the mic from there over to there. I'll do a test to make sure that you can't see the mic, right? I can't see the mic in the camera lens, right? Do a test with Peanut back there. And yeah, that's what I use for audio. And when I'm live streaming like this, there is no noise gate, no compression. Now I do have something here, but it's broken. It doesn't work. This that's what this here was supposed to be. This gray box here is a DBX286S. That thing is supposed to allow you to alter your voice. There's a noise gate in it. There's compression. There's an equalizer. All those things you can adjust for live streams. And it worked great like 3 years ago when I first did live streams. And but it doesn't work anymore. Like it would work for like 10 minutes and then stop. So I don't use that. So what you're hearing right now is just this mic and that Focusrite, no other audio processing at all. Now, when I make a video, right, like over there, so right now this audio is going through Ecamm Live and you're hearing it on YouTube. But when I make a video, you may notice, if you go watch one of my videos, you may notice, well, the sound sounds even better. Not the one where I was outside on Sunday, but like the other ones when I'm sitting in that chair, the audio sounds even better. That's because I do a little bit of audio processing. I capture that in Adobe Audition on my computer. So like I'm capturing the video on the camera and the SD card, but the audio I'm recording live when I record in Adobe Audition, and there are a few things that I do in Audition to make it sound a little bit better. I play with the equalizer a little bit, I boost the bass, I boost the treble a little bit. I don't have to do anything about a noise gate because this is a pretty good no noise room. But if you do have issues with noise, then Adobe Audition has ways that you can remove noise. So that's helpful. Just remember that anything that removes noise typically will remove other things as well. So you may not sound as good as you could have had you not had to remove noise. It's always better to capture the audio the way you want it in the beginning. Oh, there was a I didn't know what that noise was. I think my neighbor's mowing his lawn. So yeah, that is what I do. Helpful light suggestions. Awesome. Glad it helps. LM Schmidt from Pennsylvania, USA. Welcome. Glad you could stop in. It is definitely scary recording yourself, I believe you're talking about. Yes. I love live. So do I. It's fun. I find my voice tends to get a little crazy towards the end of it. I mean, usually I'm in my office here a lot on my own. I don't typically talk to myself. So when I do these lives and I'm actually talking for 3 hours, actually the last week I think was close to 4 hours. Yeah, that's a little bit foreign to me. I don't usually talk that long. Who wants to listen to me talk that long anyways? Hello, Greg. Welcome back to the live stream. I've been practicing all that you teach and getting better and better every day. Thanks so much. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Joanne likes the channel. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hello, Oscar. Oscar Maria Grande. How you doing? Any recommendations on how to set up, angle the camera when sitting in front of the monitor, filming yourself like you are just doing. Also, any good low-budget mic recommendations. So, I guess I'll answer the second one first. Low-budget mic. I like the lapel lav mics when I'm filming on my phone. Because it plugs right into the phone. They will also plug into cameras. I don't have the need to use that mic into my camera because I have this mic. But if I didn't have this, I would probably plug my lav mic right into my camera. But yeah, I use that. It's budget. I want to say it's $29 US, I think, something like that. I have a link to it down below. It's by Power DeWise. And I put a link in the description below. I put links in the description of this live stream below, just of the things that I'm talking about that I use in that setup and this setup for those who are interested. And it's also Prime Day, I think, or it is in Canada. I don't know if that's a worldwide thing or what, but Amazon's having a lot of sales on right now. In my country anyways. I don't know if that's everywhere. But yeah, so that is fine. I like the lapel mic. Keep in mind, no matter how much you spend on a microphone, the most important thing is the room in which you're recording yourself. Okay? Now, so it's good to be recording in a treated room. A treated room means there's lots of things, lots of soft things in the room. Not flat walls or high ceilings or hardwood floors. If you have a lot of like carpeted floors, curtains on the walls, things like that, just a lot of stuff, a lot of furniture in the room, that'll tend to deaden the sound, which is good. It's a good thing. What you're trying to do is remove echo, okay? And here's a good test. Here's something you guys can try, because a lot of people will do voiceovers in their walk-in closets. They'll record in a walk-in closet because that's an amazing sound booth if you think about it. What you can do is sit in your room where you're about to record and clap and listen for the echo. Then go into a small enclosed closet with lots of clothes hanging and stuff like that and do the same test. You'll notice there'll be no echo whatsoever. That's what you're looking for. Now, it may not be practical to hang curtains and sound blankets from your ceiling and put them on all your walls, because you also have a look you're probably going for that you want your recording area to look like, right? So something that will help, even if you can't treat your room really well, is putting your mic closer to your mouth. The closer you can put the mic to your mouth, the better, okay? You may have to turn some levels down of where you're recording the microphone and whatnot, but yeah, so those are the two things that would help. And angling the camera. So I'll tell you a little bit about this. So if we go back here, notice how the chair is not in the center. Okay, I did that on purpose because I knew Peanut was on the back of the chair, and I wanted her in the shot. I wanted people to see her in the shot. Okay, so if you look at, I don't think, no, anyway, if you look at the last several videos that I've made, you can see her over my shoulder. So since I'm not straight on in the chair, I'm off to the angle. That did a couple things. Like, that was very intentional in setting that up. Like, you can see the life is good sign off to the left, and you can see a piece of art on the wall up on the top right, and you can see the light just above and behind Peanut, and then the chart on the wall on the left. And I'm kind of right in the middle of all that in the videos that I like. Let me just go sit. You may not be able to hear me very well anymore, but this is the way I'm sitting in the chair, like this. I'm kind of up against this arm, right? And I've got my legs angled so I'm straight onto the camera. And yeah, so I'm not sitting properly in the chair at all. The other thing I'll point out is, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I like to have the camera, I'm trying to recreate the same shot every time. And that means putting the tripod in the same place every time. So what I've done, I'll show you on the phone here. So here's the camera and the tripod. If we go down to the floor, I've got pieces of duct tape in all 3 locations for the tripod. See that? Piece of duct tape, and duct tape over there. Okay, so I know exactly where to put that camera because I don't want to have to figure it out every time. Okay, and then the only thing I have to figure out in this case is because I moved my microphone to there, I will want to do a test to make sure that the microphone, you can't see the microphone in the shot once I set it back up over there. Okay, and that's just a matter of, I look at the camera like this and I usually put my finger up here. Oh, actually you can see the microphone. That's not right. Put it up there. There, now you can't see it. Microphone, I put my finger up and want to make sure you can't see the microphone. Maybe that slipped down. I don't know. I'll tighten up this little arm here. All right, there we go. So anyways, I hope that helps. Where are we? Video looks crystal clear. Awesome. I was a little concerned what this one would look like because I'm just using the crystal clear. I'm just using the kit lens here now. The reason I like that other lens so well, and this is another version of it, but it's 35, is it 35 mils? 30. It's a 30 millimeter lens instead of a 16. So I would be zoomed way in if I used this one instead of the 16. But the reason I like these, it's got a low f number, that's the aperture. And what that does is it blurs your background. Okay, so if you look at my other videos, you'll notice that the light behind me over there, like over here, and Peanut, and a lot of what's in the background there will look blurry because of the wide angle. Like the lower the f number, you call it wide angle, a wide angle shot. If it was a 10 millimeter, it would be even wider and even blurrier behind me. The only other way to get a blurry background is to increase the space between you and the background. If I were to move that whole chair out from the background a lot more, and then move the camera back as well, that would also blur the background. So anyways, usually on my live streams, I have that lens on this camera, and then my background back here, like the closet doors, the main door, and all that stuff, would be blurrier than they are today. Because I'm just using the kit lens, which is, looks like 3.5 millimeters, or f 3.5 to 5.6. So it's a zoom lens, so that's why the numbers can change. So anyways, yep, that's a little bit more about that. In Portugal, we speak Portuguese, not Spanish. That is spoken in Spain. Of course, yes, I know that. I'm sorry. I used to subtitle videos a lot. I still do quite often through Fiverr, and I get a lot of Brazilian Portuguese requests. So in Brazil, they speak Brazilian Portuguese, which I think is a little bit different than regular Portuguese from Portugal. You probably know way more about that than I do, but that's pretty much all I know. I get away with dry, little light using Brio webcam, Canon M50 Mark II, not at all. Wondering why. Oh, you're not getting enough light? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Light's a funny thing. It's not something you can know exactly how much you need until you get things set up. You can try moving the lights closer to your desk, maybe. If they're on stands, you can lower the stands, maybe. As long as they're not in the camera shot, just get them as low as you can, as close to the what you're trying to light up. Yes, let's get this to 1,000 likes. Appreciate that. Travel with Lil says, how many subscribers should you have before having a live stream? Also, can you discuss how to properly do a live stream? Yes, so how many subscribers? I would start if you don't have any, quite honestly. I mean, it might be another way to reach new people too. If you're live, then there's a place in YouTube where they show who's live, right? And also, depending on what your subject is, it may, like, live, they offer up live streams in their recommended list as well. So even if you have no subscribers, I mean, if you have some subscribers, then that might help, dial in where YouTube could offer them. But no, people may be able to find you through YouTube anyways, even if you don't have any subscribers, and it might become another way to grow your subscribers and to get views and watch hours and all that stuff. So I would start right away, as soon as you have something to talk about. And here's an idea. If you've done a video, actually, when I say right away, maybe I would make sure I have at least one video on my channel first, like actually upload a video. And then what you could do is you could do a live stream and talk about that video. Either talk about the content in the video or talk about the process you went through to upload and edit that video and how hard or easy it was and what you did. People are interested. Like what I'm talking about here today, you could be talking about the same sort of thing in your live stream, like how you did certain things. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. There are a lot of people who know a lot more than I do about live streaming, cameras, audio, lighting, making videos, making thumbnails, all that stuff. I know a little bit about all that stuff, but I know only what I need to know to do what I do, if that makes sense. There's always going to be new stuff you can learn. And I don't think, I'm never going to know all this stuff. So anyway, my point is, there's always people out there who would like to learn what you know. And if you have a video on YouTube, and if you're doing a live stream, you already have done stuff that they don't know how to do. And they may just show up and ask you, say, how are you doing this live stream? What kind of camera are you using? How are you capturing your audio? You could do that. That would be one idea if you're stuck on ideas. But yeah, I wouldn't wait. I would do it almost immediately. And Mackenzie's going to go live in the fall. Awesome. Angela says, I go back and look at my first video and laugh. That's good. That's good. You should laugh. Laugh at yourself before everybody else starts laughing, and then you're laughing with them. Plus, life is too short. Life is too short. Might as well laugh. This is all fun. I mean, it's all entertainment. That's the way I look at it. Aaron says, I took an 8-hour course. They suggested things like TubeBuddy and keyword search when planning topics and keywords to help get viewers. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do. TubeBuddy's good. vidIQ is good as well. That's another one. Keyword search tools, yeah. I mean, YouTube is the best keyword search tool that I know of. I mean, I also use vidIQ, but yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot to it, and there's no way to learn it all at once. So for a long time, I struggled with, well, when can I post a video? I don't want to post it yet because I'm not good enough at it yet. Well, I'm never going to be perfect, so you might as well just start. Just start. And again, it's fun to look back at your first videos with other people. That's another subject for another live stream you could do. Look back at your first video and laugh with your audience who's watching it with you. Hello, Labazi. How you doing? Do you do channel reviews, please? I haven't done channel reviews yet, but that's a good idea for the future. Maybe that's something I should look at if you guys want me to. Again, I don't know that I'd be the perfect person for that. I'm here kind of teaching and telling you guys what I know. I don't necessarily consider myself an expert in all things YouTube, so but I could certainly give my opinions. Denny Case, hello from the UK. Hello, getting late over there. It's late evening. It's 3:30 here in Halifax. Thank you, Mackenzie. Hit 10,000 subs yesterday. That was exciting. That was awesome. Pam said, hello, Pam. How you doing? Am I correct that if I watch an ad for over 30 seconds, then they are charged for it, but if I don't go over 30 seconds, they don't? I can't answer that. I don't know. I know there are different kinds of ads. Again, I've never bought ads on YouTube, so I don't know exact, but I believe you can create ads and set them up to be ads that'll run at the beginning, maybe ads in the middle of videos. Some ads are skippable, some are not skippable, and I'm not even sure. I think the advertiser has the ability to say if something's skippable or not, but I'm not sure. And depending whether it is or not, that might affect how much they have to pay for that. So yeah, I don't know. But you're right. Their ad may have to be viewed for a certain amount of time before the advertiser is charged for it. That might be true, but I'm not an expert in that. I don't know. All I know is the more views you can get on your videos, the more revenue you can make. So now whether that's because people watch the ads all the way through or not, I'm not 100% sure. Congrats on the amazing number of subscribers. Thank you very much, Sophia. Appreciate that. 59 and a half years old, lots of life experience. Absolutely. Start sharing it on your YouTube channel. People want to hear. The music on your bloopers sound great. So the song that I've been using for the bloopers is also the same music that I use in my intros and endings of my tutorial videos. And it's royalty-free music. I subscribe to two services, Epidemic Sound and Motion Array. I can't remember where I got that one from, but when you subscribe to one of those services, you can search for different types of music and download them and use them in your videos without worrying about getting copyright strikes, because I can legally use it because I pay them an annual fee to be able to use all the, and there's tens of thousands of music songs, sound effects, all those things in those services. So yeah, that's I like that too. I think maybe someday I'll change it, but for now it still sounds good. The more I listen to songs, sometimes it's like, oh, I've heard that so much before, maybe I should change it, but I'm not bored of it yet, so we'll stick with it for now. Mackenzie says, you just said your music is picked for bloopers. Have you built any templates, a timeline already built, and just drop in the footage, or do you start from scratch every video? So what I've been doing lately, there's two ways to do this. With Camtasia, you can create a template and then open a template up and drop stuff into it. But that's not what I do. I have done that, but what I do now, which I find just as fast, is I will make a copy of the last video I made. I'll paste that into my new folder for the new video I'm about to make. I'll rename that video editing file in Camtasia is what I've been using. And then when I open that, there's the video I just edited last time. I'll then delete the footage I don't want and keep what I do want to keep. And that's typically like a title. So I don't know if you've noticed, but the last several videos I've made, the style of the titles is the same. I kind of fade my screen to like semi-transparent black, and then I have a white, just a simple font, Open Sans, I think it is. Anyways, I'll save one of those title blocks, and I'll save the music that I have at the end, and then I'll delete everything else. And then I'll drop in my new footage, I'll save it as a new file, and then I edit from there. So yeah, the music's still there. So my bloopers aren't always the same length. Some are longer, some are shorter. So I may have to adjust how much of that song I keep, but that's easy to do once it's already in there. And I think next week that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to show you walk through editing a video so I can show you guys. I can show you what one of those files look like now, but let me just get through the chat a little bit more, and then we'll come back to that, and I'll show you the inside of Camtasia. And you pronounced my name correctly on the first try. Now I'm not sure what I said. Angelia? Angelia? Well, I'm glad I got it right at least once. Jonathan says, did you explore the pros and cons of local NAS storage versus virtual cloud storage? I did a little bit. So the pro of having it local is it's much faster to send files to my NAS and then retrieve them from my NAS. Sometimes I have to pull files off the NAS as well. But before I kind of continue with the answer, another good thing about a NAS is you can set it up as a cloud in your house. So you can back up all your phones, like your whole family's phones, to this NAS. You can also use it as a media server and serve music to your TV if you want. And you can, anyway, there's all kinds of stuff you could do with it. But so yeah, the speed was the main thing. I've looked at a service called Backblaze for backing it up to the cloud, but I haven't landed on that yet because it doesn't make it easy just to copy one file back and forth that I noticed. Anyways, I'm not an expert in that, but I do use the cloud for like personal important things, like, you know, financial statements and even photos and videos that I want to keep. Personally, I'll use my Google account, Google Drive, for that. But yeah, so I didn't do. I knew I wanted something local, and the two main companies. I mean, the Synology I showed you was a 6-bay. You can get larger ones and smaller ones. You don't have to go as big as I did, and you can get larger drives to put in them as well. Jitka Sislova. Hello, Jitka or Jitka? I think it's Jitka. Apologies. I'm not very good at pronouncing names sometimes. Hi, everyone from Jitka, Czech Republic, Europe. I wish a nice day to all of you. Thank you very much. Mackenzie is going to look into a NAS. I love editing on Samsung T7, but those are working copies. Need to bring out the big guns to archive. That's right. Angelia says, do you have any suggestions for making a channel trailer? Yes. Okay. So by trailer, I think you're referring to the video at the top if somebody goes to your channel. I tend to, so you can have two. You can have one that's a trailer for people who are already subscribed and one for people who aren't subscribed. I tend to leave it the same for both. And every so often I will change it. I usually just have it set to, you know, a recent video that did well on my channel, and I'll put that there. Some people will actually create a channel, some people will actually create a specific video just for that trailer as an introduction of themselves, right? And that's fine too. It's really up to you. It doesn't really affect the performance of your videos, whatever you have there. In fact, I'd even argue that most people don't find your videos by going to your main channel. Anyone going to your main channel probably did so after they already found you through another video, and now they want to see what else you have, right? So you can think of that as well. Oh, what did I do here? Yeah, so yeah, that's all I do. I use like every once in a while, if I do a video and it does really well, I may make that one my current trailer. So yeah, that's really all the suggestion I have for that. And Lil says, backup is so important. I just lost valuable content that I was scanning and I didn't have cloud storage or time machine. So I got it back by using disk drill. Got my content back in minutes. Awesome. That's scary stuff. I hate it when that happens. Elgato offers nice solutions. Lights, cameras, Stream Deck, teleprompters, etc. Yes, they do. I use their Stream Deck. I don't use their teleprompter. Their teleprompter is fairly new and it's popular and it looks pretty cool. Instead of laying your phone on the deck, it actually has a screen that you can then. So that's kind of handy if you have HDMI out to that screen, say, and whoever you're talking to, you can actually look at them through your teleprompter as you're talking to them. You know how when you do like a Zoom call and it looks like everyone's looking off to the side because they're looking at your picture over here, even though the camera's over here, right? Well, if you have the Stream Deck, or sorry, the Elgato teleprompter, I believe you can superimpose that person's live video feed into that so that you can be looking directly at them through the teleprompter. So I thought that would be cool, but I haven't tried it out. And yes, they do have nice lights and cameras as well. But the Stream Deck is the only thing from them that I have. Tarot says, very helpful to see the devices you use to switch camera views. No problem at all. Diagrams and animations help. Yes, they do. Daniel Barnett, I'm late. Yes, you are. You're an hour and a half late. No worries, we'll forgive you. Thanks very much for your explanation. Switching cameras was explained quite clearly. Sounds like I'm going to be investing more dollars when I want to use multiple cams. Appreciate the live stream. No problem. One thing that's kind of cool too that you can do with this ATEM Mini here that you can plug cameras into. I don't know how many of you have seen Nick Niman's YouTube channel. He does a live stream every Saturday morning. Well, I think he does it from Thailand, so it's Saturday evening where he is, Saturday morning here. And he's one of the first channels I started watching. His and Think Media is another one. But Nick's, I loved his live stream where the camera switching was happening automatically. So he had like 3 or 4 different views, all cameras all set up all throughout his office. And the camera switching, he wasn't having to press the numbers. He could press a number to force it to go to a camera, but the switching was happening automatically. And I thought that was so cool. It's like he had a production person in the background doing this, but it wasn't. It was an automated macro he created that you can create with these ATEM Minis if you want. So I've experimented with that. I've done that a little bit, and it's pretty cool. I'm not doing that today though. Just something else you could do if you wanted to. I'm a bit late. Jacqueline Rogers. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome. I'm a bit late, but did opt out of ads, and does that make a difference to YouTube? So by opting out of ads, I assume you mean you bought YouTube Premium. In terms of making a difference to YouTube, actually, that's yes, I've got a point to make on that. So if you have a channel and it's monetized and you're earning revenue because people are being forced to watch ads during your videos, well, what happens when that person buys YouTube Premium? Now they don't get ads when they watch your videos. Does that mean that the creator who made the video is not going to get revenue? And the answer is no, the creator will still get revenue. So when you get revenue from YouTube, there are 2 types. You get basic, I don't know what they're called, I'm going to get these terms wrong, but when you watch ads, you get so much, right? You get so much money from people who watch ads, but you also get a certain percentage of the YouTube Premium revenue. So if you're paying, I don't know what YouTube Premium is, I forget, $15 or $10 a month, whatever it is, a certain percentage of that, and I don't know what percentage, but a certain percentage of that also goes to YouTube creators. So if I look at my revenue, I'll see that I earned so much from people who had to watch ads and so much from people who didn't have to watch ads, but they paid for YouTube Premium to get rid of the ads. Okay, so that's how that works. And we have a super chat. Thank you, Mackenzie, very much for that. She says, thanks so much, Rob. You have helped me so much on my journey. P.S. This isn't Canadian Tire money. It's in loonies. Awesome. Loonies are great. And if you know, you know. But if you're not from Canada, you probably don't know what a loonie is. Slang for $1. A loonie is $1. And that's because we put a loon, a Canadian loon, on our coin, our dollar coin. So we call them loonies. Anyways, thank you, Mackenzie. Much appreciated. Aaron says, for drives I use and can recommend these for starting out, available in 2 or 4G. Oh, here we go. There's a part 2. SanDisk 2 terabyte Extreme Pro, portable SSD, up to 2,000 megabytes. That is... Go in here. Oh no, this isn't SanDisk, but this is something similar. A Samsung. This is a USB. Oh, here we go. That's a USB-C. So that's an external drive. I don't know what it is, 2 terabytes or something. But yeah, SanDisk has something similar. Extreme Pro, very good. Sorry, I thought that was a SanDisk, but it's Samsung. I'm not sure I see the link to the microphone in the description. Let me just quickly take a look. If I go here, but I got to turn off the audio, go down to the description. It's this one right here. I'm going to copy that and paste it into the live chat. Bear with me here. Where are we?
$1 billion yacht.
Oh, that's Sean. Live. Here we go. There, I'll paste it right in there. That's it there. It's the Synco mic D2 shotgun mic is what I am using. And that is the link. And it is in the description below. I just copied it from there, but there's a lot of stuff down there. Eric says it's amazing how much your subscriber count has gone up since that one post. Just goes to show. It does go to show. Yeah, it's been quite the ride for sure. That struck a chord with a lot of people, which is really cool to see. I'm going to make a video on that, like on that's kind of the part of the journey video that I'm working on. Daniel says I own an insulated metal building and won't. Sorry, I own an insulated metal building and won't to start podcasting in there. There's a little echo in there. Okay. Without building out, is there not a permanent alternative to dampen the echo? Well, there's really no way. Yeah, you could, and I've tried this too. You could surround yourself with a whole bunch of blankets. You can get moving blankets. That's the cheapest way to go, and kind of make a sound booth out of moving blankets. You can hang them from the ceiling, or I don't know what your setup is like if you're able to do that, or you can get stands. Another channel to check out is what's it called? DSLR Shooter. He's a guy that's got a lot of great camera videos, but he also has some really good setup videos. And one video I remember he made is how to create portable moving sound blankets, and you can kind of put yourself into a corner with these sound blankets. And yeah, so DSLR Shooter. Let me just try to find. That is this channel here. Oh, and I'll show it to you. Right here. So, oh, where'd it go? So he has lots of videos in here, setup videos, and somewhere in here he's got one that talks about how to create a sound blanket, portable sound blanket. Okay, so lots of cool stuff in that channel. Oh, Aaron says it's Prime Day here too. Awesome. So yeah, it must be a global thing, or certainly North America, anyways. Oh, here's the drive he uses, the SanDisk 2TB Extreme Pro. Very good. Yep. Very good. People, you can edit directly off of that. Jonathan says, thoughts on deciding to record standing up versus sitting down? Great question. I've tried it both ways. I prefer sitting. It's really a preference thing. I've tried to do it standing up. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. I like making sure I'm always in the same place, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts either way. I suppose it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to, so lately I've been kind of pushing the authenticity bit and trying to convince people or nudge them towards starting YouTube and just being as real and authentic as you can. So whatever makes you feel more comfortable. If you're naturally comfortable sitting down, like, arms on the table, you could have a conversation like this. What I try to think of when I'm talking to the camera, what really helps me is I try to pretend like I'm talking to a friend. It doesn't have to be any specific person, but it can be if that helps. A friend who has just asked me a question. Okay, so and the questions will be, so like a video I made last week, why your first video doesn't matter. Okay, and I got 4 bullet points. So that title is basically a question, and I have 4 things I want to talk about. So now, okay, there's a question. So now I'm going to think, okay, my buddy Jason just asked me a question. So now I picture myself talking to him, and I'm going to explain the answer. So that's what helps me. So if you're explaining something to somebody, do you typically get up on the edge of your seat and talk like that? Or do you like to be standing around and moving your arms around and moving around yourself? Whatever makes you feel more comfortable, because that will result in your video looking more authentic and you being authentic. So those are my thoughts on that. But so yeah, it really doesn't matter whether you're standing or sitting. It's whatever you prefer. And Joanne says, follow up, my Brio works fabulous in front of the computer with just a bright light bouncing off the ceiling. I assumed the digital DSLR would perform even better, but with same lighting, it does not. Okay, so you just kind of brought something back to my mind. So with the digital DSLR cameras, like this one, there's... I got to be careful what I say here because I'm not an expert in these cameras, like I mentioned, but you can adjust the amount of light that gets through. Okay, and what is that called? I'm trying to think here. The noise level. Like if you're shooting in a dimly lit area, you typically have to boost up the... What the hell is it? God, I'm drawing a blank right now. I usually leave most of my settings on auto, like auto white balance, auto, oh God, camera adjusting. Help me out here. ISO. Yes, thank you, Pedmore Medical. I just saw that pop up. The ISO. If you can modify the ISO. If you change that can help with your lighting. You can make it brighter, okay? Now you just have to be careful though, because the higher you put that ISO, the grainier your footage might look, especially dark areas in your footage. This is what I've learned. So it's always better to light things up with actual lights than it is to do it artificially in your camera. But having said that, just something you might want to check into. See what your ISO setting is and try to change that and see if that helps. Maybe. Oh, and Aaron B says lens F will make a big difference in lighting too. Very good. The f-stop. That's right. It will. Might mean you have to change your the amount of light and your ISO settings. There's a lot, I tell you, there's a lot to these cameras. They're more expensive and there's a lot to learn with them. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Everything offset always looks better. Very good. And Paradis says, does the lighting generate lots of heat? This one doesn't seem to be. No, none. Actually, that's none. And now this one. I mean, there's some heat in that one, but I don't have it turned up very high. Like these panel lights are LED lights basically, so there's really not much heat that I notice from them at all. But anything with like bulbs in them, like this one has a bulb, they would generate heat. But if you don't have them turned way up, and I don't have to have that one turned way up, then it won't generate that much. But something to consider for sure. Jim says, sorry I'm late. Greetings from South Africa. Welcome, South Africa. Do you use manual or automatic focus on your lens? Automatic focus. So if I hide my face and put this up here, see, it focuses on that. Take it away, and boom, focuses on my face. So I love the autofocus of these Sony cameras. So definitely autofocus on those. The only time I would want to use manual focus probably is if I did take them outside and there was something specific I wanted to, you know, have manual control of focusing in on. But generally, especially these Sony cameras, and that's what I've learned through watching videos on them, that Sony tends to have very good autofocus. Yep, that's what I use. And you can decide whether it focuses in on your face or your eyes, or you know how wide the area is. Like if I'm way over here, is it still going to focus on me? I probably have it set so that it will, like the area is large where it tries to look for a face. Kim's Cancer Journey. Hello, Kim. Welcome to the live stream. Such a fancy setup. Love it. I'm so intimidated and want the same setup that you have. Well, yeah, and I'm a little hesitant. Well, I've already done it, but in my mind before, I was kind of thinking, well, there's a lot of people that really want to know how to get started with YouTube. Maybe I shouldn't be showing like all this stuff that I have, because you don't need it. Like, quite honestly, that set over there, all that is, and I've already shown this once today before, but for those of you who didn't see it, all it is one camera, the mic that goes there, that is currently over here because I'm using it, right? So camera, mic, this big light, right? That big softbox light there. If you can still hear me, I got to yell now because the mic's way over there. All you need is that and a nice chair and a cat. That's all you need to get started. You don't need all this stuff here. You don't need all these monitors and all that. But I strongly recommend that if you want to start a YouTube channel, you want people to like your videos and whatnot, they be personable, but get a cat. Get a cat. A lot of people love Peanut. No, seriously though, you don't need all this stuff. I have several monitors. The main reason I have as many monitors as I do, video editing, it helps with that. If I'm editing like a lot of videos or a long video and I want my timeline to be long, I typically have this side monitor. I'll have my Finder windows open, or that's on a Mac. If you're on a PC, then it would be your file manager windows. And then I'll drag like footage from there into my editing monitor, the main monitor, right? So that's why those two monitors are for. This one down here is the one that I can share with you guys. So like that, just press a button, you can see what I'm looking at there. That's how I was trying to figure out what ISO was. And then this monitor over here is actually, it's not a monitor, it's my MacBook. This is the computer that drives everything. But on the MacBook, I have Ecamm Live set up. That's the software that's allowing me to connect to YouTube and broadcast live. So, but yeah, it's taken me several years to get all the stuff that I have here, and I've spent way too much money. So you don't need all this. Hello, Presh. Hey, Presh? Or preschool? My first time here, and I'm loving it. Awesome. Glad you like it. Taipei Eats. Hello from Taipei. Welcome. Welcome from Taipei. From Halifax. Pat Michaels. Enough to be dangerous and to have fun. I can certainly be dangerous with the knowledge I have, because not all of it's right. I have a lot of incorrect stuff bouncing around in my head too. Jim McDougall. Hello, Jim. My simple question, how do you record a video for later editing using the A10 Mini Pro? Sorry if this has already been asked. Nope, you're the first one that asked that. To answer your question, I don't. I don't use the A10 Mini to record. There is a version of the A10 Mini you can get that will capture all that. I'll tell you, I only use the A10 Mini when I'm live streaming. Okay? When I record a video on my camera, or even if I'm recording a video with two different cameras and I'm going to want to switch back and forth between two different views, I record to the cameras directly, like to the SD card in the camera. And then I'll take the SD card out and put it in my computer, transfer the files, excuse me. Or you can plug a USB cable into your camera and then the other end into your computer and transfer files that way. But I don't. It's not a big deal to pop the SD card out for me, and the MacBook I have has an SD card slot right on the side of it, so that's easy. And the reason I do it that way is the videos that I make typically, and certainly the ones I've been doing lately, I record in 4K, okay? 4K 30 frames per second is what I've been doing. The A10 Mini will not do 4K. It'll only do 1080p, okay? So even though these cameras are both 4K, they are currently plugged into the A10 Mini and then into the computer and then being broadcast out to YouTube in 1080p, right? Now, if I was okay with a 1080p video, then I suppose I could record. But no, see, if I switch, the problem is this. With the A10 Mini Pro that I have, remember, I don't have the A10 Mini Pro ISO. That's a different one. The A10 Mini Pro does not allow, like if you're recording everything and switching cameras, it will only record like the final what you did. So you would not be able to change when you switched cameras. Okay, that would be hard baked into your recording if you went through the A10. Now, if you have the ISO version, then it does have the ability to record all of the different tracks, all the different cameras, and then you can edit them later yourself if you want, right? So yeah, I don't do that. I want to be able to control when I switch back and forth between cameras if I'm doing a video like that. So I just record right to my cameras and put them in my computer. So that's what I do. But again, there's more than one way to do this. Prime Day here too. Yep, very good. What do you think of a 21-day challenge with a small group? Great job, Rob. Yeah, let me know what kind of challenge you're thinking of. Because yeah, that was mentioned last week too. And I've had a pretty crazy week, so I haven't gotten too much farther with that. But I like the idea of that and keeping us, keeping you honest, I guess. Like you could, a good way to check in and see how everybody's doing. I like the idea of a speaking to camera challenge, right? Where, let's say every day for 30 days or 21 days or whatever, you film yourself talking about something for 5 minutes on your camera. Now that will generate a lot of, like I wouldn't be able to watch all of those for, like, let's say 100 of you do this. That'd be too many, but I wouldn't be able to watch it all. I wouldn't have the time, but we could do like, here was my first video and 30 days later, here is my next, here's now how, this is how good I am. So I love that idea, but let me know your thoughts on exactly how that would work. Sophia says it's 7:25 in Portugal. Oh, so that was 35 minutes ago. I'm about running 35 minutes behind in the chat. In Portugal and in the UK, watching and getting dinner ready. Love all you are teaching us. Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. Appreciate that. Travel with Lil loves the Love My Tech idea of the challenge, 21-day challenge. All right, let me know who else is interested in that and what you would like it to look like. What's the challenge? What would you like the challenge to be? Interesting idea. Oh, people are on board with this. Mackenzie says, I've been playing around with a duplicate video. Thanks. No problem. Sorry, my computer's dinging up here too. Playing around with a duplicate video. Good afternoon, Rob. I just arrived in the middle of the broadcast, so I'll watch it again from the beginning. Awesome. Very good. Welcome, Cortez from Brazil, I believe. Aaron says, I like, though, how you emphasize you can begin with a good phone, mini tripod, maybe mic, at least at first. That's very freeing. It opens up to many more people. Absolutely. I mean, you really don't even need an external mic or a tripod. You could hold your phone and just talk. You can make a video just like that if you want. I think it's better to have it on a tripod, and then you're free to move your hands and be a little more personable when you're describing things. Or that, again, that's me. Maybe you're not like that and you don't know what to do with your hands, in which case maybe it makes more sense to actually be holding a phone. You could hold a phone in one hand, notes in another, or a phone and a light, or whatever you want. Or if you're talking about something specific, maybe you have to hold that in your hand. So yeah, you don't need a tripod. I do, because I don't love just holding onto the phone. Something I found interesting, actually, is when I made the video Sunday, I was in a boat and the boat was rocking, right? It was rocking around, and I was thinking, man, so me and the tripod are rocking together, so I figured I'm always going to be in frame, but the horizon's going to be moving like crazy because the boat was rocking. I didn't know, but when I got back and I did the editing of that video, and if you haven't seen it, go check that out. It's the last video I uploaded. You can see the ocean behind me. But the horizon didn't move at all. And I didn't do that. I didn't make that. I didn't edit it that way. What am I trying to say? The iPhone 14 Pro Max is the camera I used. It obviously has a built-in stabilizer that stabilized the horizon perfectly. And that floored me. I couldn't believe it. So some of the things these new phones can do is kind of mind-blowing. I mean, you could get a, I've got one here somewhere. Yeah. This guy here. This is a gimbal, right? And you put your phone up here. You put your phone here, and it will always stay perfectly horizontal no matter what you do with this. I can't show you now because I got my phone already hooked up, but yeah, that I don't even think is necessary anymore with the iPhone because it stabilized it. I couldn't believe that. So anyways, something I learned. Mackenzie says, join the 100 per club. Let's get 100% thumbs up and watch 100% of his bloopers. He is so helpful. Thank you very much, Mackenzie. Actually, I tried to, so a little trick I tried in the last video. So obviously I was on the boat. I did not bring Peanut on the boat with me. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to bring a cat on a boat, but I don't think it would go well. I don't think, that's not her vibe. So she wasn't with me, but I did feel like I wanted to put her in the video. So I did put her in the video. She's in the video. And it's a lot, the video's over 20 minutes. So I was wondering how many actually saw Peanut in that video. I think she was only in it for 7 seconds, so that it will take you 20 minutes to find her probably. Travel with Lil says, I'm bothered also when people switch cameras too much. Yeah, I would say it tends to be an overused thing. It's kind of cool to be able to do that, but see, this is a rule of thumb. Coming back to authenticity and being authentic. If you edit your videos too much, they're not as authentic as they could have been, right? So, and by its very nature, if you have two different angles of yourself and you're switching between them, that's a lot of editing, and it may be unnecessary to a point where, okay, why are they switching angles? Does that help drive the story the person's trying to tell? Or are they just doing it because they can, right? So if it's the latter, then I would suggest maybe don't even do it. But if it helps tell your story, or even if it helps break something up, like if the message you're trying to deliver is long, and you think you may have trouble holding on to your audience throughout the entire thing, that's when you may want to throw in an edit. So that could be switching to a different angle, or adding a slow zoom in or a slow pullback as an edit. You could do things like that, or switch to B-roll. You know, those are some tricks you can add into a video where you think maybe you're running on too long, and you may start losing part of your audience. But yeah, I think that's an edit that tends to be used perhaps too much, but you know, experiment with it, see what you think. Aaron says, is the loonie the coin where when they were new, the center would sometimes pop out, making its own change? No, that is a toonie. So interesting story there for you non-Canadians. We came out with a loonie, the $1 coin in Canada, I think in 1987 or 85, somewhere there. And it was a gold-colored coin. That's when we got rid of the $1 bills, paper money, and started going with the coins instead for $1. Well, I don't know if you know this, but in Canada, we had a $2 bill as well, a lot of them. I know they exist in the United States, but they're pretty rare. But in Canada, they were not rare. We had, like when I was growing up, 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, 20s. Those were all over the place. But then we got rid of the $1 bill, came out with the coin. And then several years later, we got rid of the $2 bill and came out with a $2 coin. And that one was two-tone, two colors. It was like copper or whatever on the outside, and like a nickel or a whiter metal on the inside. So two-tone, and it had two, I think, polar bears on it instead of one Canada loon, like a loon. It had two bears on it. So, but people didn't know what to call it. Like, do we call that a two bear? We called the $1 bill a loonie, so we decided to call the $2 coin a toonie. That's what we just ended up calling it. And yes, the centers did, some of them popped out. And I don't know if they must have fixed that, because they still exist. There's toonies all over the place. That's as far as we've gone. So now the $5 bill is the lowest denomination bill that we have in circulation in Canada. So there you go. For those who wanted to know, that's some Canadian mint story. Let me just quickly go through. Pedmore Medical says, yes, I've copied the sound blanket moving stand for my Zoom and Teams video. Awesome. Cool. I never made that. I actually made something that out of like 2x4s and insulation, and I wrapped it in fabric. Anyways, that's something. I still have that. You want to hold on one sec? I'll show it to you. There you go. So this is something I made out of 2x4s, like a 2x4 frame. The back is just covered with fabric, and inside here is regular house insulation, like the pink stuff, right? Actually it wasn't 2x4, it was like 1x3 or something thinner. And I wrapped it in that on the back side. And on this side, I bought some of these, these sound, what do you call them? Foam panels. So there you go. Something else you can try. I tried to make myself a sound booth out of that stuff when I was doing more voiceover. And what happened was I got super hot. Like I had one of those on either side of me. I put one on either side of my microphone and one behind me, and all of a sudden I just started to overheat like I am now. It's warm out there. It's cooler in this office. So anyways, something you can try. That's just a DIY thing that I did several years ago. Here we go. Molly Ann. Hello, Molly. Welcome to the live stream. I used to be on YouTube for 2 years with baking, but only could get up to 800 subs, so I quit. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, you could always start that up again if your channel still exists. You got to really like what you're doing too, if you're going to do a YouTube channel. So if it feels like work, then it's probably going to be something you're not going to continue with. But yeah, I mean, 800 subs is not bad. Now, you know, maybe it took you a long time to get there, but oh, that's done. Excuse me, I'm just going to get another drink, another energy drink, keep me going. Are we over 2 hours now? How are we doing? You guys getting some value out of this? It just got really warm here. Just, I guess, lugging around that big piece of equipment. But yeah, hopefully you give it another shot at it if it's something you want to do. ISO, f-stop. Yeah, here are all the photography experts helping me out here. Taipei Eats says, do you think it's a good idea to go live with food delivery channel? Sure, why not? I think that'd be cool. I guess the only thing you might want to be concerned about is privacy issues. Like if you're delivering food to somebody, you probably don't want to show, you know, their address or, you know, make it obvious. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I'd be concerned about going live. You could make videos and then maybe ask permission if you end up getting people in your shots. You might want to ask them, is it okay if I put this on YouTube? Some may not have a problem with it, some might, but that's the only thing I'd be concerned with about a food delivery channel. But you could go live maybe if you're in your food delivery car or truck or whatever vehicle you use to deliver the food. You know, you could be in there delivering something and just talking to the camera, and maybe you never end up showing the actual person you're delivering to. So that could work if that's what you're thinking. Might be fun way to share some things. Molly Ann says, I think the baking was too saturated, so could not gain too many subs. Yeah, well, maybe. Well, see, the thing with saturate. So here's the thing with saturation. There are a lot of channels out there for everything. Like no matter what, think of any topic, and there are channels out there for that topic already. Probably many, depending on what we're talking about. What I like to say is that you can make another channel that does pretty much the same thing, but with your own unique twist on it. And that unique twist could simply only be the fact that it's you in the videos. So I don't know if your baking channel had you actually in your videos, or if your face was not in the videos. I don't know, but that's one of the reasons why I'm encouraging people to put themselves in their videos, like I am right here, is because then people will connect with you, right? People here are connecting with me right now because I'm putting myself in my videos. Are there other channels out there that help people with YouTube? Absolutely, like a lot. But everybody has a slightly different way of presenting things, and if you're personable about it, if you're being relatable with it, then people will connect with you. I would hazard to guess that most people here today watching this, and most people watching the videos, aren't necessarily here only for the content. They're probably here because maybe we're starting to get a connection going, and you're getting used to me, or maybe you like the way I'm explaining things. So that's a big part of it, right? So don't think too much about the content itself being oversaturated, because it's not only the content that you're delivering. It's yourself as well, your personality, right? Your face, your voice, the way you explain things. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I would say about saturation. Anyways, Taipei Eats is still delivering. All right, very good. Getting late in Taipei. Oh, it's middle of the night in Taipei, I think, isn't it? Lens F will make a big difference with lighting too. If changeable, a better lens can help a lot. Absolutely. That's a huge rabbit hole, that is, the whole photography thing and the video cameras. Daniel likes the idea of going live on a food channel. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, live making the food, baking, and then taste testing, and yeah, absolutely. Pixie Stitched. Hi, Rob. Jenny from Boston. Hello, Jenny from Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. Here, had to step out a couple times and my comment disappeared. It's long, so splitting it up. All right, here we go. Do you need a specific type of camera in order to live stream? I've got an old 1080p Panasonic HDD DD with internal and SD storage circa 2004. Okay, I'm just going to continue your question here. Guy at the store told me at time of buying I'd need the kind that takes those mini tapes in order to live stream. So that's not true anymore anyways. YouTube was really new back then. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and I don't even know. Yeah. Is this still true nowadays, or can you get around that with adapters or software? Old camcorder is still great. Here's the thing. You need a camera that has two things. Either it can plug into your computer like a webcam can, so that's USB, or, and this is a better way because the USB way doesn't always work, the better way is the camera needs to have HDMI out. So circa 2004, it probably doesn't have HDMI out. So whatever he was telling you at the store, if it was recent, no, I guess you said it was back then. I also have an old camcorder that had a tape. It took 8mm tapes, and there was no way to connect that to my computer. And even if I could, it wasn't even 1080p, so it wouldn't have looked good at all. So yeah, unfortunately, I probably would not use that. Again, I would maybe double check, like maybe take it to your camera store now and see what they say. But I would think that probably you would not be able to use that to live stream with. You can live stream, but if you're looking to maybe not spend very much money, you can live stream with a webcam. Like I could live stream with the camera that's built right into my MacBook if I wanted to. I would not look as good. The picture would not look as good because that camera is nowhere near the quality of this camera. So yeah, connectivity is your biggest issue. Not so much does the camera take a good video. Your camera may well take a very good video, but connecting it to a computer is the thing. And if I remember correctly, 2004, it was around then that I got my first flat screen TV, plasma TV back then. And I think HD was just coming out then. When I say HD, I mean 1920 by 1080 pixels. So that's 1080p. Before that, everything was 4:3, like the little cathode ray tube TVs, right? So in 2004, I wouldn't think there'd be HDMI out. So even 5 years ago, some of these cameras, some of the newer cameras may not have had HDMI out. So what you want to look for is HDMI out. These Sony cameras have them. But you also need to be able to remove all of the stuff, all of the information on the screen that you see in your camera, like what your shutter speed is and your resolution and ISO and all those settings. You want that to disappear because you don't want that showing up in your live stream. So these Sony cameras do have clean HDMI out, is what it's called. Clean HDMI out. Okay. So again, that's if you want to upgrade your camera, but you can use any old webcam. Somebody earlier mentioned the Logitech Brio. That's a good webcam. 4K webcam that you can use. And that would be an upgrade over any camera that might be in a laptop that you have. So that's also another option. And they connect very easily. They don't need HDMI out because they are USB webcams that plug right into your computer. Okay, so a couple of ideas there for you. Hope that helps. I have to wait for the live stream to finish before I can activate the subtitles in Brazilian Portuguese, as I don't understand much. Sorry. No worries. I'm not finished yet, though. I'm sorry. Maybe another, I don't know how long. Well, I'll go as long as you guys want me to. Still going through these chats here. Connell Jacinto Real Estate. Hello, Connell. How you doing? I have a Sony HDR SR11 high definition camera. What are your thoughts? I'm not familiar with that. But you know what? Google is a wonderful thing. Let's just type that in. Sony HDR SR-11. What does that look like? A camcorder. Okay, so that is... Oh, what did I do? That is this guy here. So that is your camera. It does 1080p, says right here, 1920 by 1080. Record the video, 60 gigabyte hard disk. Oh, so just to answer Pixie Stitched again, the size of the hard drive in your camera doesn't matter when you're live streaming because you're not capturing anything on your camera. You're just live streaming. The camera's on, feeding into your computer. So you don't need a hard drive at all, really. Just wanted to say that. This camera here, I don't know what it has for outputs. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know. If it has HDMI out, then perhaps you can use it to live stream. But if you're just making videos with it of yourself, absolutely you could do that. So yeah, maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe you weren't even asking about live streaming. But for just a camera, absolutely you can do that. And the nice thing about this is it does have a flip out screen, so you can see yourself to make sure you're framed properly in the camera before you continue. So that helps. Angelia says, how are you highlighting the person asking the question from the live chat box? Good question. So, and I'm not that good at this yet because I'm still figuring this out. But so I'm using Ecamm Live is the software I'm using on my MacBook to broadcast this live stream. It's live streaming software for a Mac, Ecamm Live, E-C-A-M-M. The ability to show comments is in Ecamm Live. It's not a YouTube thing. So if I were to, here, I'm going to switch views to my phone again. So this is what I see here. Okay, so here are all the chats that I see, and I can go click, and so here's your comment here, right here. I can click on that, and it pops up here. See that? And then I can exit out like this. So, and that's because the feed comes in to Ecamm from YouTube. But if I come over here, that is the actual YouTube live chat feed. And I have to keep my eye on this too because, you know, I can't click anything here to make those comments show up. I have to wait till they pop up here. And they usually take a couple of seconds before the live chats pop up in Ecamm. Okay, so that's how I do that. So I hope that helps. There are other ways too, like if you use StreamYard is another software for live streaming. Actually that's web-based, right? Instead of being Mac or PC, you can use either. But StreamYard, it's instead of it has a way that you can highlight comments like this as well. It just looks a little bit different. Rose says, thanks, Rob. Just found you today. Welcome, Rose. Glad to have you here. Pat Michaels is down for a challenge. We'll have to figure that one out. Jim says, thank you for the great info. Seems I wasted money on the A10 Mini Pro. We live and learn. Yes, we do. Well, just go live. Do live streams. Get yourself a second camera and do live streams. There you go. But yeah, if I were just making videos and not doing live streams, I wouldn't need the A10 Mini. Jitka says, Rob, what is the best mobile phone for making videos? Which brand name would you recommend? Is it Apple? I recommend Apple because that's what I'm used to. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max is what it's called, and I love it. I've been an iPhone user since iPhone 6, I think, and I upgrade about every 2 years. So I'm sure. Well, I know any current smartphone, like the Samsungs, have really good cameras as well. I've heard people say they're even better for the cameras, right? I'm just so used to Apple. Like everything I do is at like my MacBook and my phone. They connect really well. I love the fact AirDrop for you iPhone users. When I take a video on my iPhone, I love the ability to just AirDrop those videos to my MacBook, and boom, they're there. I love it. I love the way these AirPods connect to either my phone or my phone if I'm out running, or my MacBook if I'm in here editing videos and I don't want the sound to come out of my speakers. I just love the way Apple stuff connects. But I'm not saying anything bad at all about Samsung because I'm just not as familiar with them. But I think those who use Samsung love them as well. Lil says, I have to take our fur baby clients now. I'm a pet sitter. LOL. I'll catch up later. See you next week. Thanks, Lil. See you next week. Good luck with the pets. Pat is impressed how organized your closet seems. You can go in and find stuff quickly. I would be searching through boxes and boxes and realize it was in another room. Yeah, actually, it took... For the longest time, I was the same way, but I finally created, I call it my gear closet, and I made a video about that 6 months ago. I'll just show you. Turn that on. There you go. So I've got everything hanging on the walls, like batteries, stuff for whatever. Yeah, so everything's got a place for it. Got some drawers down here. So if you want to, turn that off. If you want to know how I built that, go to my channel and check out, what's it called? Scroll back a bit. Gear Closet DIY or something like that is what I called that. How to make a battery charging gear closet. Yeah, that took me a whole weekend. And it took me a long time to edit that video too. Jim needs to be able to switch cameras between my face and my musical instrument. So switching would happen a lot. Okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, you can definitely do that in editing. Aaron says, wish we'd used the coins instead of the bills. They made $2 coins and people collected them, didn't use them. I think we did that in Canada too for the longest time. But we got used to it pretty quick once they got rid of the paper versions, right? Don't be showing us your butt. Tiga Photo, hello, has a question. Would you suggest starting over with a channel? I am planning to post more with a plan. Does it really matter? Quite honestly, I considered starting over, or not starting over. I considered starting a new channel when I wanted to kind of pivot and change what I was talking about, but I decided against it. If you look back at any popular or successful channel, most of them did not start off talking about what they currently talk about. So it's totally fine to pivot and change, your topic that you talk about on your channel. So Don't go back there. I wouldn't worry about that. Take advantage of the fact that you already have some subscribers, if you do, and some content on your channel. And again, it'd be fun to look back at it, and even with your future audience, to look back at your first videos and see how far you've come. So that's me personally. I decided not to, but there are plenty of people out there with multiple channels that each one is geared towards a different topic. But if you don't know what topic you want to start with, even, then, or even if you started with a topic like I think you're suggesting, and you want to pivot and start talking about something else, you can totally do that on your current channel. Oh, Joanne has to leave. Sorry, Joanne. Running a bit long again this week. Thanks for stopping by, though. Also, she loves the idea of a food delivery. New York Dog says, what about if I'm obese, overweight, and I'm ashamed? Should I expose myself? Well, don't be ashamed. I know it's easier said than done, but my general thought on somebody who's not happy with the way they look doesn't mean, like, we are our own worst critics, okay? So remember that. Like, if you do put yourself out there and you make a channel, you start making videos, you know, the people who you will attract to your channel, the people who want to see more of your videos, that's your tribe. Those are the people you do want to connect with. And for those who don't, if you're worried that some people might not like the way you look because that's the way you think about yourself, just don't even worry about it. Try not to worry about it. My attitude is life's too short to worry about what other people might think. You know, there's things about me that I don't like, but you know, it doesn't matter. I don't care. If people see me, it's fine. So I don't know if I'm really answering your question, but I would just try not to be ashamed. Like, quite honestly, just try to be positive and not worry too much about what other people think. Not to say that other people aren't going to, you know, like the fact that you're saying you're obese or overweight or whatever. I mean, not everybody is a stick figure. Not everybody, you know, there's people of all shapes and sizes. That doesn't mean that what they have to say has any less value to it, right? So, no, I wouldn't worry about that at all, at all. And if anybody, yeah, if anybody does have a problem with it, then that's their problem, not yours. I wouldn't even worry about it. Inez, I hope I'm saying that right. Inez, hello Inez, welcome to the live stream. I've been following you with great interest for several weeks. It's amazing what you have accomplished. Could you tell us a bit about your motivation and background? Greetings from Germany. Greetings, Germany. Yeah, so sure. My background is I'm an engineer, is what I went to school for, and I have a business degree as well. And I worked as an engineer for 7 years or so out of university, and then decided I didn't love working for other people. And I ended up starting my own business. I started off by designing websites. So this is going to be in the early 2000s. I started designing websites for local companies. Then I got into web hosting those websites for people. Did that for a bit, grew a web hosting online business that I ended up growing to a point, and then I ended up selling that to another company when I at the time I didn't want to grow. I didn't want to hire people. It got too big for me to do on my own. So instead of hiring people and trying to grow it even bigger, I just said, you know what? I'll cash out of that and I'll sell that and do something else. I then got into, I created another online business called Demo Wolf, where I made tutorial videos for web hosting companies. So very specialized or specific niche where, you know, it's not a very big market. Oh, sorry. cat wants to get into her bed, and I had this in the way. Sorry, Peanut. So I ran that business for a while, and that's where I learned how to create tutorial videos. Okay, and this would have been back in like 2016, 2017, 2018. And I did that for a while, and then that business didn't do so well after a while. I didn't have a great business model because I was selling things. I was reselling the tutorial videos I made, because it was all of these small web hosting companies had the same software that they were using. So they could all use the same tutorial videos I was making. And what I did was I would just rebrand those tutorial videos for the company buying them from me. So I was able to sell them very cheaply, like 30 videos for $30, right? Because I already made them once. All I have to do is re-export them with a new logo. But it wasn't a great business model, right? There was a lot of work to update those videos. So anyways, long and the short of it is it wasn't sustainable. So I then moved and switched gears to freelancing and started editing videos for other people through Fiverr. And I did that, started in 2019, I think, 2020. Did that for a while. And then, everybody can still hear me? Yeah. So did that for a while. And then as I'm still freelancing through Fiverr, but I'm also starting this YouTube channel and kind of doing this at the same time. Eventually, I want to morph from doing all the video editing for people to teaching people how to do YouTube and edit videos and be good on camera and all these things that I'm talking about now. So there you go. That's the lot. There's my journey. Aaron says there are many Disney World live streamers, but it boils down to the personalities. Definitely boils down to the personalities. Sophia, I like the way I like how you explain things. Like a friend, not only tech stuff. The kitty is a big plus, though. Yeah. Oh, where'd she go? Oh, she's just walking around. Yeah, she keeps me company. She's going to want me to open that door soon, I think. And yeah, like a friend. So that just kind of prompted something. So that's all part of trying to be authentic in your videos and or live streams, whatever you're doing. If you can talk to the camera like it's a friend, that's what puts me at ease, right? And so when I'm talking to my camera, when I'm making a video and I'm not live, that's what I think. I think, I'm trying to explain something to a friend who doesn't know what I'm talking about, so that's how I'm going to explain it. That's the way I approach that. Now that I have people in these live streams, I am actually talking to who I consider friends. Like I see your pictures here, and we're starting to get to know each other, right? So it helps. It helps you be more personable and to connect with people. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to promote. Spiritual Seeker, hello and welcome. It feels like a content creator support group. We need that. I just saw a video by a woman whose channel was hijacked and she is starting over. Well, that's not good. That sucks. I saw a similar video to that a couple days ago. I wonder if it's the same one. But yeah, no, that sucks. Privacy is a big thing. Guard your passwords. Change your passwords often. Jitka says, how to get rid of the stress that I am not a great academic specialist in a field. Did you struggle with such a kind of stress when you started to do your Camtasia videos? Did you receive such comment? Yes, I did struggle with that a little bit. So the way I handle that is I preface everything that I say in my videos with, I am not an expert. That's what I say. I think that's the answer to a lot of things. I'm not an expert. All I'm doing is I'm here to tell you what I know and nothing more. I'm not going to pretend or try to teach you something that I don't know how to do myself. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to have to let her out. Come on. Here you go. No, don't just leave the door open. She can come back if she wants. So yeah, I'm not going to pretend I know something I don't. So, and I want to be very upfront with that when I talk to people in my videos or on live streams. So even though I have a lot of Camtasia videos in my channel, I still don't consider myself an expert. There's a lot of things in Camtasia I don't use, but I definitely know enough to help people who are just getting started. And that's why I'm really liking the community we're starting to build here of people who are just starting out, people like me. So I'm over 50. I'm not just over 40. I'm over 50. And so I started late 40s, I guess, in YouTube. And so that's what these videos are about, trying to connect with people who are my age or older, and try to help you overcome whatever hurdles you're coming across. And one of the big ones is imposter syndrome, is what it's called. And that's when you don't feel like you know enough to tell people about it, right? So I was just talking about these cameras and f-stops and ISO and all this stuff about an hour ago or half hour ago. And I don't know everything about it. I don't. I know enough that this camera is working right now and is broadcasting my face to the internet through YouTube. So I've learned enough to get the camera to do that. But there's probably a lot of things that this camera can do that I don't know how to make it do it, right? So I just upfront with it. So that's what I would suggest to you. Just be upfront with what you know, what you don't know. And a nice catch-all phrase to say is, okay, I can help you with this. I am not an expert, but this is what I know. And then explain what you know. So that's my suggestion there. Clean HDMI out. HDMI, didn't think of that. I don't think it does. If it's 2004, then I don't think your camera has HDMI out. That was only just starting then. And it was just starting in televisions, not cameras. Unless you paid an awful lot of money for that camera, if it's one of the first ones to have HDMI. Jim says, I made acoustic panels in a similar manner. You also get bass traps for the corners. Yes, you can. And I should have bass traps in these corners, but I don't. The advantage of using a shotgun mic that can be close to your mouth is that it doesn't pick up noise from the sides. It only picks up noise in a very limited direction. It's directional, okay? Some better mics you may see on YouTube, people using the Shure SM7B, I think it's called. Shure is SHURE. That's a very popular podcasting mic. It's a very good mic, but it'll probably pick up everything in the room. So if your room is echoey, that'll probably pick it up. This shotgun mic is good at not picking up a lot of echo if I'm close enough to the mic. It might sound better when I'm close like this, but when I'm farther away, there's probably more echo, right? So that's why when I do voiceovers, I actually bring it really close and I put this little pop filter on it as well. That stops the, what are they called? Plosives from getting into your mic and causing the distortion or the clipping on the high end. So yeah, that's bass traps in the corners. Absolutely, like big foam traps, they're called. Joanne says the Logitech Brio is amazing. Yes, I've heard good things about the Brio. Breo, I think is how it's spelled. Oh, I'm wrong. Brio. Where is it? Show you here. So I just typed in Logitech, and which one is the Brio 4K? Well, there's one. I thought it was more than that. MX Brio Ultra HD 4K. That's probably a really good one. But these are all webcams. That's the Brio that I'm used to seeing. That one there. It's $200. So yeah, that and it's got a microphone built into it, I believe. Now, it may not sound, the microphone in these probably is not as good as any external mic you could hook in to your computer. But yeah, another vote there for the Logitech Brio. I've never had one. You would probably get better results using your cell phone. Oh, okay. You're not talking about the Brio. You're talking about instead of the camcorder. Yeah, probably. If you have a cell phone, like a relatively modern smartphone, absolutely. Any Camtasia stuff on the horizon from you? Yes, yes. When I get into video editing, which I think is going to be next week, I'm gonna show it in Camtasia with the caveat or what like with the fact that what I'm going to show is going to be doable in any video editing platform, but Camtasia is what I'm going to show it on. Absolutely. More interest in the 21-day challenge. Fail to plan equals plan to fail. You only get out what you put in. Good message. Hello, Inez. Level 3 up. Hi, Rob. I joined late, so just watched on 2 times speed to catch up. Very helpful. Seeing your setup. I'm getting some gear from Prime Days today. Awesome. Yeah, that's right. For those who don't know, Amazon has like a sale on, I think it's today and tomorrow, Amazon Prime, where lots of things are on sale. Also, if you use my links in the description below I've got links in the description below on the stuff that I showed, the stuff that I'm using in my setup currently. If you use those links, you'll still get it for the same price, the same discounted price, but I would earn a small commission as well. And so if you do that, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, but don't feel like you have to. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, today and tomorrow is a great day to get stuff from Amazon. Absolutely. Would the new Camtasia be suitable for music videos? Absolutely, sure. You can edit anything. I mean, so Camtasia started as a screen recording app, not so much a video editing app. It has changed to become more of a video editing app that also does screen recordings. And it just happens to be the one that I think is the easiest to use. That and CapCut, they're both relatively easy to use and learn. But yeah, no, I've made videos for clients in Fiverr. So for example, I've made videos where they send me the album cover, right, of a song and the title, and they want the lyrics to pop up, right, and the music to play in the background. And you can put all that together in Camtasia very easily. It doesn't have to be a video either. It can be an image that you show for the duration of the song, and you can do things to that image. You can have it zoom in, zoom out if you want, or you don't have to do anything to it. And then you can add lyrics to it as well and change the styling of the lyrics if you want. You can add voiceovers if you want, but I don't think you would typically do that in a music video. But yeah, absolutely, you could do that. MOJ USA, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone, host. Welcome to the live stream. Jose Games or Gamez. Rob, you're inspiring me to start my YouTube channel. Awesome. Do it. Do it, Jose. You got this. Learning and Tech with Frank says the Brio is okay. Use Camo Studio and your cell phone. Super easy. All right, very good. Another way you could do that. I love using my iPhone, Mackenzie, as a continuity camera, using the back camera for better footage. Yes, okay. So I only recently discovered that. That's how I'm using my cell phone right now, as a continuity camera. Again, that might, I don't know if that's just an iPhone thing or if Samsungs can do it too. I'm not sure. But with the iPhone, that's why I'm able to do this. I hit the iPhone button here. Now it's using my, wirelessly, it's using my cell phone camera. Yeah, but the only thing that's weird though is it's like it does this zoom thing. See how it kind of follows me a little bit and is zooming automatically? I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know if it's possible, but anyways, I think it's cool. No problem, Frank. You're a little late. Hello. John Fuller. Hello, John. Welcome. Please forgive me if you've already talked about this, but could you let us know what aperture, shutter speed, and ISO you use on your Sony camera? Also 4K frame rate. Thanks. No problem. So if you're referring to the videos that I've been making lately, okay, so not Sunday's video, the one of me on the boat, that was my cell phone. So, and I did that 4K 30 frames per second. On my Sony camera, I use that to film in here, and I have the aperture way down. Well, I use the 1.4 16 millimeter Sigma lens on it. Let me see. Actually, we can look at this together probably. Can you see that? Auto white balance, f1.4, 1/6, oh, it's not in focus. 1/60 shutter speed, and 30 frames per second, 4K. AFC means autofocus. I'm not sure if you're seeing that, but yeah, so that's how I have that set up. 4K 30 frames per second. I know 24 is a popular one for like cinematic type videos, but 30 is more popular for web-based stuff and screen recording. So 30 is just what I'm used to using. And what I've learned is that your shutter speed should be 1/double your frame rate, is what I've read or seen in videos. So that's why it's set at 1/60. I could make it 1/200, which would be a faster shutter speed, but then you wouldn't get the natural looking motion blur. Like, see how my fingers are kind of blurry here? You want some motion blur so that it looks more natural generally. So if you're going to shoot at 30 frames per second, 1/60. This aperture is at f3.5 because I'm just using the kit lens today. Usually I have that lens on this camera for live streams, but I wanted to leave it there, and I only have one of them because I wanted to show my setup for the videos that I make while sitting in that chair. So that's why I did that. So hope that helps. That's what I use. Mackenzie's got a hop. No problem, Mackenzie. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry if I'm missing it, but I didn't see the teleprompter link. No, I don't think I put that in. So I'll put it right here. It's the Desview T3. And yeah, that's it right there with all the different rings. So let me just click on this. And oh, it's a 20% off Prime right now. Copy that, and I'm going to put this. So I'm going to type this into the chat. Teleprompter I use. There you go. That's a link to the Desview teleprompter that I use. And it has it has like a dozen different rings, like this here. This little ring here, I can screw that off. That's what allows you to then attach this to the lens. Okay, that ring. And like each lens has a different size thread. Okay, like this lens, this is a 30 millimeter. This lens has a different size thread than that lens, so two different rings. Okay, so, but yeah, when you get that teleprompter, it comes with all the different rings that you need, and the outside of it all fits this right here. And that's what it looks like there, Desview. Desview or Desview, I'm not sure how you say it, is what I use. Mackenzie says, there is a little camera icon at the top of your MacBook. You can also do some fun emojis, LOL. Okay. That's a little bit beyond me. I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I got to get into the emoji thing. That's. Thought I was too old for that. I don't like. I don't know. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to do that. Oh, for the continuity. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you said for the continuity Apple feature. Okay. Yeah. All right. Still getting into that. Level 3 up. I'm using your teleprompter link and it's on sale today. Yes, I noticed that too. 78.40. Yeah, that's a good price. I thought I paid over $100 for that. Well, if it's $100 US, that's roughly $130 Canadian dollars for me. Type A Eats likes the gear closet. Oh, there. Oh, geez, I'm caught up to the chats. The Stream Deck is also on sale. I love the Stream Deck. So what I use it for is to switch between my different scenes. I use it to. I have a super chat button like this. Press a button, and the super chats pop up. You can assign different sound effects on your Stream Deck. You can control lights with your Stream Deck. I don't have mine set up for that just yet, but like overlays. So like last week I had this. That's last week's overlay that I used. It's still in here, and then I have a little highlighter that I use. All these are different buttons that I have on the Stream Deck. I love the Stream Deck. I love it. Very handy for live streaming, but you can also program buttons to it for video editing. Like the Stream Deck is really just an extension of your keyboard. They're programmable buttons is what they are. So yeah, I love it. And Frank says, I really need to learn more about the Stream Deck. I have a couple, but really haven't spent the time to set them up. And Pat says, good for you. So good for developing, editing, and writing. Yes, definitely. Mackenzie says, and you said you don't get into emojis. I don't know if I said that right, but I wasn't sure what you were talking about. So one thing I do know is I notice sometimes people will kind of do these little wave emojis in the YouTube live stream. They don't show up in Ecamm. Instead, it shows up like the thumbs up. I see some thumbs up by. Actually, the thumbs up one might have worked. Yeah, that did work. But the one that said there was a bunch of pink waving hands. All I got was text in Ecamm. It doesn't show up properly, so I'm not sure why that is. But that's just something I have to deal with, I suppose. So how are we doing with time? It's just about 5 o'clock here. Been at this for 3 hours. How's everyone doing? You good? Any other questions for me? Did I answer everything okay? So I've got a couple of videos in the works. Or when I say in the works, they're in the scripting phase or bullet point phase. I'm going to make some more videos, authentic style, off the cuff, not reading from a transcript. Incidentally, did anybody see the trailer that I made for this live stream today? If anybody popped in early, they would have seen that first before I got going. So I kind of messed up a little bit. I used a teleprompter for that over there. I put the teleprompter on that camera and filmed it sitting in that chair. Yeah, if you saw that, then that'll give you an idea for, I guess, pros and cons with using a teleprompter. Just because you have a teleprompter and you have a full script written out doesn't mean that you're not going to still make mistakes. Okay? I do all the time. With the teleprompter, I make mistakes. I made a mistake. I fumbled over some words earlier this morning when I did that trailer, but I left it in, and I wanted you guys to see it. You guys probably could tell that I was, well, let me show you something here. Let me show you the trailer. So it's only a minute long. So let me just show this to you. and you'll see what I mean. So again, this was with a teleprompter. And so this is Camtasia, by the way, just for those who don't know. But let me just play this now. Good morning. I'm Rob, and my live stream is going to start soon. There should be a countdown timer somewhere here on the video or below by the title. Anyways, I'll start at around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Toronto or New York time for those of you on another continent. Today's live stream will be a little different. You may notice I'm not at my desk, but in the chair where I've been recording my latest videos, and that's because I'm going to do a behind the scenes today and show you exactly how I record my videos, the equipment I use, my lighting setup, audio, everything. As always, I'll be answering any questions you have, so feel free to post them in the live chat and maybe put a Q in front of any questions you have so I don't miss any. We had a great turnout last week, and there may be some new viewers today. If so, I look forward to meeting you all. I'm reading from a teleprompter. I apologize, it's probably obvious, but we can talk about that too. So click the notify me button and be notified when the live stream is about to begin, and I'll see you shortly. Bye for now. Good morning. Okay, so I used a teleprompter, but that didn't stop me from screwing up. I still made a mistake, and I wanted to leave it in there so you could tell. If you compare that little video with the other videos I've been making sitting in that chair where I wasn't using a teleprompter, you can definitely tell a difference. Yes, I can talk faster when looking at a teleprompter, but I'll still make mistakes. So I will typically only use a teleprompter if I have to put together like an intro to a video where I don't want to miss anything, okay? Or if, let's say I do like a sponsored video and I have to read, a specific script, then I would probably use a teleprompter. But I would also edit it. If I tripped over words like that, I would probably just start over with that sentence. I'd go back up to the camera and I'd adjust the script, and then I would say that line again, and then I'd cut out the mistake in editing. Okay, so if you're okay with doing some editing and you want to tighten up your message and cut out ums and ahs and things like that and mistakes, then a teleprompter is great, but it does still take practice. I've been using that for, I'm going to say, a year, a little less than a year, and I still make mistakes. So yeah, that's that. Let me see here, what else we got. No more questions. You must be tired. Yeah, a little tired. Not too bad though. I'm getting a little hungry. It's 5 o'clock here. No trailer scene today. Well, that was the trailer. I just played it here. We got here. Thoughts on the Rode Video Micro shotgun mic. It seems like a good budget starter option. Yes, that would be good. I don't have it myself. I guess my only thoughts are, think about what you want to connect it to and where you want to use it. So if it connects directly to your phone and you're going to record with your phone, then great. Or if it's going to connect to a camera and you're going to record to the camera, that's great too. Either way, the audio will get captured by your recording device, your camera or your phone, whatever. In my case, since I'm using a shotgun mic that's wired to my computer and not my camera, I record my audio separately and then I edit it together. So it's an extra step, but I like the fact that I get good audio out of it, and it really doesn't take that long. But yeah, if this mic here will plug in, then the one thing to keep in mind is even though it looks like a microphone will plug into a phone or a camera, there are different types of connections, and sometimes you need to use an adapter that goes from, and I'm going to get super technical here, but there are 3-pin connectors and 4-pin connectors. And I think the difference is the 4-pin also transmits like audio, like you can talk back, like microphone and speakers kind of thing. But anyways, they look the same small jack, 3.5 mils, I think is what it's called. So you may or may not need that adapter. So like if you plug into your phone, maybe you don't need the adapter, but then if you want to plug into the camera, you might need the adapter to plug it in and have it work. So just things like that. And then you may need to spend some time setting the levels properly so that you don't get any distortion and stuff. But yeah, just make sure whatever mic you get will connect to whatever you want it to connect to. Your camera, your phone, whatever. Pixie Stitch said, I might have missed your response while grabbing dinner. I posted a link to my old camera. I can use it to post videos even though I can't use it to live stream, correct? Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I did talk quite a bit about your camera, but yeah, if your camera takes good video and you're happy with the quality of the video, you can, as long as you can save it as an MP4, because I think that's what YouTube requires, MP4 files, then absolutely, you can upload those videos to YouTube. If it saves it in a different format, you may have to convert it first, I think. I'm not too sure, but there are free ways to convert video files to MP4 as well. But yeah, you should be able to, absolutely. Jonathan says, Glide Gear teleprompter has cam screw mount and just a black velvet cover for any camera. No need for lens fittings and upcharges. Samsung Galaxy Tablet S9 with SpeakFlow tracks text as you speak. Okay, very good. Awesome. SpeakFlow. Okay, very good. I use Prompt Smart, so probably does something similar. And I think you can put that on an iPad as well. But yeah, you know, there's certainly more than one way to do this. No problem, Aaron. Take care. Sophia liked the live. Lots of useful info. Have to leave. Dinner time. Bye. No problem, Sophia. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Ted. How you doing, Ted? Good to see you. Ted from Texas. Jim says, how do you use the external SSD hard drives like the Samsung you showed earlier? I actually don't, in my current workflow right now, I'm not using this. But if I travel somewhere, let's say I'm going to go away for a while and I'm traveling and I have a lot of stuff on my computer and I needed to get stuff off of it, I would probably take this with me and move stuff to this. But you could, some people use these to archive footage or projects. They'll put them on these and then they'll put a piece of paper and label them by date maybe, and then they save them. Right, so this will hold, I think this is a 2 terabyte. Yeah, but no, right, yeah, so I would take this with me when I travel right now, is all I do with that. Thanks for the microphone tips. It should connect to my phone, but I'll double check adapters. Yes, absolutely. It's a little trickier with my iPhone because I needed a little iPhone adapter. So here, you may have, I think I mentioned this today, but the Power DeWise lavalier mic, this is what I used on Sunday when I went out in the boat and filmed myself there. If I just pop this out here. So it's a lavalier mic like this, okay? And it's got a little clip on it. You can clip it to your shirt. You see that, like that? And then the cord is nice and long. But at the end of it, for me, I have to put that on it, a lightning cable, okay? Because I use an iPhone, right? If you don't use an iPhone, then that's probably fine. Got to hide my face so it focuses on it. Okay? That's the thing about these cameras. If the camera can see a face, that's where it's going to focus. So I have to hide my face if I want it to focus on something else. All right? So yeah. And I think you can get these Power DeWise mics with that end already built into it as well for iPhone users. But this works just fine for me. I'll put that away later. But yeah, double check the adapters. Absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, you have one of those around somewhere. Thanks for showing. No problem. The one thing I noticed with that, and I don't know if you caught that in the video that I made Sunday, but the day before, Saturday, I went out and I tried to film it, and I ran this up inside my shirt, and I clipped it here, okay? And then I went out, did my filming, came back an hour later, and then I listened to it, and the sound was shit. Like, it sucked. It was too loud. It clipped. When I say clip, it means I was too loud, and so there was distortion, okay? It's very easy in video editing software to raise the levels of audio if things aren't loud enough, but it's pretty much impossible to lower the levels if you recorded yourself too loud. Okay, if you recorded yourself too loud and there was clipping or distortion because it was too loud, you can't really, I mean, there may be ways that audio engineers can fix that, but I can't. So the solution I found out, I tested it a couple more times and then went back out Sunday, is I have to have mine about here, like right there, right in the middle of my torso, for the level to be good. And now that's just with this mic, right? And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe I could have actually put it under my shirt, like with some tape or something. Maybe that would have been good too. Anyways, there's different things you could try. But in the end, where I put it and how close I was to the camera meant you couldn't see it anyways unless I stood up. So yeah, keep that in mind too. So so I am working on, I'm going to have another video out before the end of the week, maybe 2. And I will be back here next Tuesday. And I think next week we'll get into video editing a little bit more. And you may see this. Oh, one more thing. How many? I can't even see this. Is there anybody in? Oh, yeah, there's still 28 of you in here. So that's good. Let me show you, for those who are still here, I'm going to show you something else in Camtasia. So let me change views here. Okay, this is Camtasia. This is a little test that I did. I'm not going to show it all to you, but this is basically what Camtasia looks like, just as a brief little introduction. And most video editing software is like this. You've got a place here where your footage and things that you want in your video are going to be. Like, this is the video, this is the audio file that I recorded separately. And this down here is called your timeline, okay? And this here is called the canvas. And now those are the 3 main things. This down here is all kinds of all your effects and things. Okay, so but what I wanted to show you as a brief introduction is this down here on the timeline, and you can, this is called the playhead. You can drag that back and forth across the timeline. Okay, I can highlight things, so that's a video. I can now click and drag that video and put it somewhere else if I wanted to. Okay, but I don't want to. You can see here that there are 1, 2, 3, 4. This didn't start out as 4. This is actually all one recording, but I cut out mistakes, or I cut out parts that I didn't want to show. Anyways, the point is here that I wanted to show you different lights. So remember when I told you that this big light here, this light here, is what I used to make these videos of me sitting in the chair? Well, I did a test with the new light that I've got links to down below. These 2 new lights that I just bought. It's these guys. So 2 of these. This is one, and the other one I'm currently using up here as my key light for this live stream. Whereas I used to have this up here, now I'm using that other light, okay, the new light. But what I wanted to do, I got a lot of comments about the videos that I made in that chair. Oh, I love the way it looks. Like, how are you lighting yourself and stuff like that? Well, I use this big light here. The problem is I don't love that light there when I'm working at my desk or doing live streams. It's been in this live stream all day, right? And I don't love it there. So I wanted to see if maybe one of these new lights would do just as good a job here as this big Amaran light, okay? So I did a test. So let's just quickly take a look at this, and you can help me decide. Okay, this is a test. I've got the main big key light on up there, and I want to compare this shot to not using that and instead using a little panel light that I recently got. So this is the key light. Let's see what this looks like. And now this is the key light, the panel light, but I think I have it on too bright. So one sec. Okay, now I've dialed that down to 25%. It was 50%. And I forgot this the first time, but I turned on the other light on this side because, yeah, that's what I usually have it on. So what does this look like? 25% on that panel light. Hopefully it doesn't look too harsh. And I'm not sure what that one's set at, but that's an even smaller light and a little farther away. So now let's see what this looks like, and I am going to put the big key light back on. There, key light's back on, the regular big expensive key light. I'm not sure what it's at. I'm going to say 25% as well. So there you go. That's that, and you can actually see the reflection in my glasses. I think that looks better, but I'm just wondering if that looks good enough. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards continuing to use this big light for those videos, but what I might do, I might move my entire desk and put it over there, a little further away from that. That's just what I'm kind of going through in my head now, and if anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. I think I missed a question here. I saw it, but I don't think I answered it. I forget who asked it. Pam says key light, yes. That's what I'm thinking too. Key light, or it's the Amaran light. Somebody asked me a question about the Amaran light. I saw it and I didn't answer it. What was that question? Oh, here it is. John Fuller. You still here, John? Let me just go back up and find it here. Here is the question here. And did I miss anything else above that? No, I just missed this one. I'm sorry, John. So if you're still here, here's your answer. Do you use the remote control app for your Amaran light? Yes. It's called Sidus Link. SIDUS. That's the app for all aperture lights. I also have a couple of those small, I think they're MC lights is what they're called. Sometimes I put one on for extra color. Can I get at that? Well, this is one here. If I just unscrew this. This guy here. This is an Amaran, or aperture, sorry. Aperture, I think it's called an MC100. MC light. And they're great. Like they're RGB, so any color. And I like putting them up high here and adding extra color to the walls or extra color in here, right? Anyways, the reason for showing you this is it's also by Amaran, and therefore the app, the Sidus Link app that controls this light also controls these lights. Okay, so that's the good thing about Aperture and Amaran. They have a link, or sorry, an app that'll control all of them, and you can change the percentage and the color. This is not multicolor, but those lights are. So yes, I do use that. And sorry I missed that question. Here we go. Jim says the panel light looks great. The one I have will adjust not only the brightness but also the color tones. So do these. They're called bicolor. Yeah, daylight or warm. I think tungsten is what you call it when it's like the white light. And then yeah, also the warm tones, like more yellowish color, and anything in between, like So this one, and you can change that. So that is set to that is just set to 5600K, which is Kelvin. It's at 25%. I can dial that up. That's 50%. It gets quite bright. Let's just leave it back down. But then you can change the color like that. You can go, I don't know if you can tell, but that's more yellow, down to 3200. Then I'll go back to 5600. Yeah, it's hard to see. Hard to see, but if you ever see those videos online where things look just kind of more yellowy, like a sunset, more or orange, just warm, like a warm light, that's because they're using lights that will do that. You can change the warmth of the light. Yeah. So there you go. And if you do mess with that with your lights, you also want to, if you're using a fancy camera where you can change the white balance, you'd want to make sure your camera's balanced with that as well. That gets a little technical. You could also just leave your camera on auto white balance, which I do. Okay. So what's next? Any final thoughts? Anything else you guys want to hear from me? If not, I'll probably sign off and go get something to eat. Today was fun. Did you enjoy today? Was it good? All good? If you have any video ideas for me, anything else you want me to make a video on, let me know. I'm always accepting ideas or looking for new ideas. I have several already that I'm working on. But I want to hear from you guys. So this channel has grown fairly fast in the last couple of weeks, and that's awesome. So I think there's a lot more people coming to the live streams. I'm assuming most of you are relatively new subscribers, and I thank you very much for that. I'm glad you're liking what I have to say and the way I'm saying it. Again, everything I'm saying is not new. This is stuff I've learned on the internet. And it's basically stuff I've learned to be able to do these live streams and to make videos. And since I can do it, and this is not stuff I went to school for, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And if I can help you learn how to do it faster, then that's what I'm here for. I got some other cool things I'm working on. I'm working on a, where are we here? Where did you go? I'm working on a video recording checklist. I'm going to put together something. It's like a PDF that is basically a checklist of everything I do to create videos, right? From the planning to the recording, editing, like everything. And it's like a checklist, and it's not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but it'll be a great starting point to if you're looking where to begin. So that's something I'm putting together, and when it's ready, hopefully in the next, it might even be ready by next week. I'm not sure. I'll try. But it's going to be something that I'm going to make available for free, that you'll be able to download from my website, which I also have to finish and get that back up online. It's still under construction, but that's where you'd go to get that. Yeah, so stay tuned for that video recording checklist. I might change the name of that. I'm not sure once I finish that. But yeah, basically planning, recording, organizing, editing, and uploading, and what I do and all the steps involved in all of that, so you can follow, like, do it the way I do it. Not that you have to, but at least you'll know what I go through to make and edit and upload my videos. So that's something I am working on. Hopefully it's something you want. If there's anything else you'd like to see from me, let me know, and I will add that to my list. And if there are no other questions, let me just check the chat one more time. No problem. Final thought, can't wait till next week's class. I'm fantastic. I think so. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Greg. GR Bliss, time well spent. It was great. Awesome. Congrats on the growth. Thank you, Francesco. TJ, cool to see you. Thank you. You appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks, guys. This was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these. So as long as you guys keep showing up for them, I will keep having them. This was 3.5 hours today. It was fun. Hope you got a lot of good stuff from it. Once this live stream is over, you won't be able to leave comments in the chat anymore. The chat will stop, but you will be able to leave comments in the comments section, just like you can with any video. So if any of you, if you're watching this on the replay and you want to comment, leave a comment below. I'll answer you. If you have any questions, yeah, you can do that. And with that said, if that's all, no more questions. Lots of hearts flying. I love it. Thank you very much. Lots of likes. We got 57 likes. Awesome. 1 thumbs down. Boo. Sorry to have disappointed somebody today. I don't know who that was, but yeah, the cat left. She didn't come back. She's probably mad at me because she's hungry too. I'll have to go and feed her. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video, or definitely next Tuesday in next week's live stream. Cheers.